I'm Alex.
And I'm Teddy.
And I'm Spencer.
And we are
The Button Mappers.
Hey, the Button Mappers.
I'm just gonna rap the Legend of Zelda
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
80s style.
Who do that like commercial? It's like, it's a Legend of Zelda and it's really rad. It's creatures from Ganon are really bad. That's a bad commercial.
I remember that.
That literally sounds like you came up with it on the spot.
No, that's from the commercial. That's from the official Zelda 1 commercial.
I know, that's
where,
how bad
it's the two guys. It's the two guys on the couch. It's like, whoa, look at those graphics.
You guys just can't appreciate a good rap. That's on you.
Spencer, you wouldn't know a good rap. How many raps have you written, Spencer?
How many raps have I written? I mean, I guess under 10.
Is he a ghostwriter?
Yeah, yeah.
I've written hundreds, dozens at least.
My pseudonym is Eminem. So.
It's Eminem.
It should just be another candy, like
yeah, Skittles.
Reese's.
Skittles.
Yeah, Reese's Pieces.
Reese's? Spencer, how do you pronounce it?
I always called them Reese's.
Thank you. Okay, so it's not an American-Canadian thing. It's just we've got a couple wackos here say Reese's.
Couple goofballs.
I will not be judged on the way that I say Reese's.
It's too late for that.
Oh,
Yeah,
I refuse. You are the ones that are wrong.
Probably. Well, no, I don't think so. Not in this case.
Well, what does it say?
Reece.
Let me.
S. What? C.
Yeah, it's a C.
What?
It's an S at the end.
Well, that
Oh, this
letter
is the
doesn't
spelling of
affect
the
it.
proper name.
Yeah, it's Reese. Reese apostrophe
No, it's an S.
apostrophe S. Reese's.
Reese's, yeah.
Reese's. Gotcha.
Because we used to have Reese's at
Reese's.
recess.
Reese's at recess. Reese's at recess.
That's a good recess. That's the one you want to go to.
Hell yeah.
Reese's.
That's like the only chocolate I like is Reese's.
So good.
I don't like chocolate.
What about coffee crisps, though? We just had Halloween coffee crisps.
What the hell's a coffee crisp? That's a Canadian.
Wait, really?
That
No.
is a Canadian
That
thing.
can't be, because guys, like most of what we have here is American.
Never heard of it.
Like
Coffee
Nestle and
crisp,
stuff.
Spencer. You're the last vestige of hope.
Coffee
North
crisp is made
America.
by Nestle, so that shouldn't be exclusively
I've
Canadian.
never had coffee
Nope.
crisp.
It is
Never.
made in Canada.
Three no's. You got no's.
See,
Oh.
it's a Canadian thing.
Get that
is made
Canadian
in
bullshit
Canada.
out of here. Yeah, we don't
Oh,
need
Yeah,
yeah.
that.
you're making it up. You're making it up.
What? You guys didn't have coffee crisp? You Americans?
Oh man.
Hey!
This one I feel bad for you though, because this is the best Halloween candy, Halloween chocolate.
Yeah, somehow I doubt that.
Coffee
I highly doubt that.
You don't have it? Well, it's the best.
In Canada, they may have coffee crisp, but in America, we hand out crack, and it's way better.
Sure.
Mm-mm-mm.
Well, in Mexico, they put it in the Coke.
They put crack in the Coke.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a coffee
No,
crisp.
Coke in the Coke.
What is it? Like, what's in the candy bar?
Hard wafers, coffee icing type of, like hard icing too. I don't really know how to describe that part.
Hard
but
stuff.
and
It's
yeah,
hard.
it's got like a good bite to it. So yeah, a lot of hard wafers, hard coffee icing, and the chocolate shell.
So it's basically just like a Kit Kat with icing, with like coffee stuff, right?
Kit Kats are really soft, and this one is like this
It's like,
it's like an inch
like
tall.
crunchy.
Yeah, and it's like an inch tall. So you're going through like 30 layers, 20 layers when you bite it. It's good.
In Canada, they go hard.
Yeah, buddy.
We're soft with our Kit Kats.
Yo, people here are actually nuts with some of the things they do. Like, this is not something I grew up with, but you hear about all these people freezing some of their treats and freezing things. I've even heard of people freezing their chips. I like the cold chip. It has more of a crunch.
I freeze Reese's.
No.
Do that.
I used to
I'll
freeze
pop those in the freezer.
when I ate berries. I used to freeze all my berries and then eat them frozen.
Those are good. Yeah, those are good. Grapes. I like
Raspberries,
grapes,
frozen
yeah,
raspberries are incredible.
All right, that'll be my last food distraction before the show begins.
Yeah. Oh, it won't. Don't make any promises.
Oh, hey, I've seen this walkthrough before.
Yeah, it's the one that we all used, right? It's the one I used to.
I can't sign. No, I did not. I did not use this one.
You didn't use
Oh,
this
yeah.
one?
Me
This-
neither.
I
I used a different
this
one.
guy
Oh.
right here.
Oh,
man,
wow, he big timed us. He's got the official guide, the ultimate guide.
No. That's the ultimate
That's sick.
guide, not the official
Not the
guide.
official
I don't see
guide.
that.
I
My
apologize.
black yes guy.
Black NES guy. I like it when people
He's
tell
out
me
here
their.
making miracles.
I like it when they tell me their race up front. That's. I think everybody needs to do that.
No,
I
it's
wouldn't
the,
have
it's the unit. It's the NES unit is black. You know, he had a black.
Oh, he had a
cosmetic
black
thing going.
NES. Okay.
Yeah, true.
Spray painted black.
Or it's
Excellent.
the black
I was-
label of like that you have around the carts. You know.
I was afraid I might
Gotcha.
thank my colloquial dark-skinned brother there, but now I know it's just the NES he's referring to.
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't. It's it's ambiguous. You know,
It
it
is.
could be. Yeah. Right. Some say race is ambiguous. Where do you stand on that? Don't answer that.
Racies? Yeah, racies.
Well, the dude
Racies,
can't-
Paisies.
Yeah.
You guys are a bunch of racies.
We're being racist. Racist. We are being racist. Yeah. If we don't allow multiple pronunciations. of
Yeah.
racist.
Mm-hmm.
And I won't have it.
Yeah. Pronounce
doing
it
some
however you
research.
like. We accept all pronunciations.
I'm on his Instagram right now. I see that guide you bought. I'm trying to see if he is black. That's my goal. No, there's no pictures of him. We won't know. Instagram failed me.
It's a mystery.
Facebook. I think he's got a Facebook page. Let me log
Let's
into
see,
my Facebook. Yeah, Twitter at Black NES Guy, Facebook.com/the Black NES Guy.
Definitely
I'm
doesn't
not even
seem
logged into Facebook.
definitely doesn't seem racist if we're trying to find the guy that wrote this book to see what race he is.
There's no pictures of him on it.
Yeah.
He has no pictures of him on Facebook either.
Make sure you check us out on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And then check us out on our Discord, where we've got all kinds of great conversation. There really isn't that much great conversation on there, but
Yeah,
I'm
it's
gonna
kind
help-
of slowed
I'm gonna help
down
you
a
out,
little
Legend
bit.
Leo. I like my guides like I like my coffee.
Mm.
Black. There we go.
Yeah, I'm
We're
drinking
on
black.
equal footing.
I'm drinking some black coffee. Oh, you can't really see it. I don't want to spill it. Like
spill it. Turn it.
Oh, show it.
Is it? Would you consider that coffee crispy?
No.
wet?
It's wet. Ooh. I don't like my
Wet.
coffee wet. I like it crispy.
Crunchy. Crunchy coffee.
I don't like wet coffee.
Freeze your coffee.
Yeah.
It's a little wet.
Oh man.
Teddy, what if they're watching us on YouTube, what do you think they should do?
What are you doing here? I mean, you've come to the right place. Listen, all you YouTube folks out there, you've come to the right place. Be sure to subscribe for more crazy coffee, crispy, crunchy content. All K's.
Jesus Christ! What the fuck was that?
And
A lot
check out the Legend of Leo here on the YouTube. He
Or
does
don't.
good
I'm
work.
not actually affiliated with you guys. Not actually.
Oh no!
All right, to track the shout out, I'm gonna shout you in.
thank
shout in.
Yeah. I don't know how to do that,
Yeah.
but that's the plug.
You
Awesome.
know, you just had a really big video about Pokemon. You did like awards.
Holy. Yeah, I went a little nuts there, and I made it over an hour and a half. But I thought my Final Fantasy ranking the main line was a little underwhelming, and people came at me saying, you don't like this game, you don't like that game." It's like, why do I have to mention for every single game that I like it? But so I don't know. I just thought if I had a little more storytelling in the video and mention how I got into each of the games, people could probably understand that, oh, he appreciates it because he played it when he was 10 or 12, or this is what he played with his friend when he was 14. So yeah.
I thought it was.
And-
You say it's long, but I thought it was incredibly watchable because it doesn't follow the normal path of those kinds of videos, and you kind of you're wondering what the hell is going to come up next because they're so bizarre, like the awards.
Oh, good.
So it was always I was kind of just like looking forward to it, and you say like one of them was like the best starter evolutions or whatever I think it was.
Yeah.
And then it was like, oh, like that's totally left field. Now it's like I'm totally off my toes, which is really cool. So
Good.
I thought it was really good.
Thank you.
You know what I thought? Big fan here. Like an air conditioner.
He's blowing.
I liked your comment.
He's blowing praise.
I didn't watch it.
That's my shout in. I'm not allowed to say anything, so I just shout in words.
Yeah. I'll keep it short because Pokemon's not the subject of this video, but it is interesting how like everyone's played Pokemon, but it seems like no one wants to talk about it once they're an adult. Just like I did play it. I do play it. I do like it. But hey, let's talk about SMT, or hey, let's talk about that more mature game. And yeah, like I didn't actually know that you were a big fan of the series until you explicitly wrote that in your comment. Even though I've heard you talk about it off and on a few times.
I've done videos over time about it.
Oh yeah,
Spencer and I did Arceus earlier this year too, and then we do
Oh.
Pokeberry every year. You have an open invitation, sir.
okay.
We're not doing it next year, so maybe the 2025 is it.
Yeah, well, you
Yeah,
might
sure.
like. Well, what about Digimon?
What do you think about Digimon?
Yeah, this is the 1 year that we take a break from Pokemon and we do Digimon.
And you make the freaking magnum opus on Pokemon. So. Great timing.
Yeah.
Yeah, open
Sorry.
invitation for Diduary as well.
Is that January or February?
February.
Didgeruary. Didgeridoo-ruary.
February.
We all buy a didgeridoo.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I like the sound of the didgeridoo as well. We're tapping into the audio effects for the new year, you know.
Yeah, we're gonna give Spencer a audio board, a soundboard. He's gonna play some wacky sound effects all throughout the episodes next year.
You guys did have sound effects in one of your video, or were they all in
no,
post?
don't even start that.
I'm not saying I like them.
I don't
or
know
want
what
them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't
Okay,
start. Don't.
Never mind.
The most recent attempt at that, the Discord soundboard went up in
No,
flames.
Teddy,
It
stop,
was me.
Teddy. Don't.
Can I get an extra crispy sound effect?
I don't think we have that on Discord.
Don't even look
Only
for
in
it.
Canada.
Alex.
You give
Only
us a
in Canada.
signature Legend of Leo crispy sound effect?
It's. I don't know what that means.
Was that it?
Alex did it. Yeah.
That was the best I could do.
Alex
That's all.
quacked or something.
There's like 6 options, and it's like quack, air horn, cricket, golf clap, sad horn, and tis. Those are the 6 options I have. So quack was the closest one to a crispy sound.
Thanks.
Well, we're quackers up in here about Pokemon, but we also like The Legend of Zelda. That's why we invited The Legend of Leo on today, because we have a dispute from the Tony Hawk map out that is unresolved. Last time we asked whether the audience prefers bagel bites or pizza bagels. We reviewed the comments and nobody responded, so we have 0 responses. Nobody. So the deal was that either Alex or I was supposed to eat the opposite. Now, Alex, what do you think about deferring this to The Legend of Leo?
I forgot this was even a thing.
He's got Canadian taste. It's like playing with a football. You don't know where this is going to bounce.
No. He's gonna be like, you guys didn't have pizza donuts.
We're gonna get the not answer. Okay, well,
We eat them all the
I don't know.
time here in Canada.
Yeah.
We can either defer all votes to The Legend of Leo or just drop it.
I think we should just drop it. Nobody cared.
What if I care?
Okay, do you care about pizza rolls versus pizza bagels?
Wait, I thought they were called bagel bites. Oh, are those still mini pizza
Whatever.
things?
Whatever
Bagel
they
bite.
are. Bagel bite. Okay.
Whichever
Do
one
you
is
know-
more like a pizza is better. if that helps.
Well, neither are more like a pizza.
That's kind of their gimmick, is that they're both pizza
Oh, okay.
adjacent.
Oh no!
Have you had
okay.
either?
Well, up here
In
we had-
Canada, we don't have no pizza.
No, my mom didn't want to buy a lot of that junk, but there was a time when I would only eat pizza pockets. So the bigger version of whatever you guys are talking about, because I know you guys had pizza pockets too.
Hot pockets.
Like a hot pocket? Yeah.
Hot
That's just
pockets, yeah.
And
Hot
I've been
Pocket.
saying for years that a hot pocket is just an oversized pizza roll. So
Okay, so whichever one
I
that
get
is
it.
most similar to, that's what I
Yeah.
would pick.
Okay, well, if we're doing that, then it sounds like he's picking Alex's pizza roll.
thank you.
But we haven't. Did you care?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
He was
he
impassioned.
didn't pick freaking pizza rolls. He picked hot pockets. That's a non-vote.
Sorry, I didn't know I'd actually pick C. I'm sorry.
Pizza pockets. I called this. I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm
that is-
not,
That is shaky ground. I do admit that too.
well, so much
Well
for that.
done.
We can talk about
Well
The
done,
Legend of
Quack.
Zelda.
Yeah, let's.
Okay.
To the main topic.
Da, 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 da. Puppy power. Everybody hold up your guide.
The hell Scrappy Doo doing here? Wait, hold on. Before we start, we forgot a plug. Make a video response. Okay, let's go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We forgot
All
that one.
right, Legend of Leo, why don't you tell them what a map out is?
What?
Why do you keep doing that to our guests?
Well, in this
I want to
map
see
out
what they
video,
think.
sure.
Yeah.
So in this map out video, the hosts and the guests are all supposed to take their knowledge of the game that they just played and have an interesting discussion about the map, the dungeons, and anything else that is map-like in the game. So in this instance, for the Zelda 1, we're going to be talking about the overworld and its monotonous music, and the dungeons and their even more monotonous music, but more specifically, the enemies that you encounter, the items that you obtain, and then how we all enjoyed the experience.
That's
That
pretty.
wasn't bad.
That was really good. You know, it's funny because
That's
usually
why we do this.
we don't even explain what a map out is half the time.
Did it better than any of us
Yeah.
ever could. So thank you.
Yeah, usually we're opening up the video like mid talk, and I'm like, Spencer, what do you mean you like cornflakes? And like that's where the video starts. And I'm like, why aren't people watching us?
This channel's not
Well, we did
growing.
invite the Legend of Leo to talk Legend of Zelda. Maybe people will watch us today. So let's just start with history with the NES game, The Legend of Zelda, Legend of Leo. What's your history with this cartridge?
For whatever reason, not owning it as a kid, so I thought that Zelda 2 was the NES Zelda. That's the one that we had. And it wasn't until many, many years later, and probably up until I beat Skyward Sword, probably before Breath of the Wild, that I finally went back and played Zelda 1. And at that point, it was just purely to see, hey, what was the game like back then? I understand when people have it as their favorite because it's maybe simple and it's what they remembered. But boy, does it feel like a foreign video game. Does not feel like a Zelda entry. In some ways.
Right, your pick. Who goes next?
Spencer. He looks the most confused.
Well, I'm the NES hater guy over here. Yeah, I saw a friend play it back in the day, and I tried it, and it was kind of nonsense to me. But I'm not a big Zelda fan, I guess, but like a big enough where I like the series, and it was cool to go back and play it. I think there's a lot of things that I respect out of it, and a lot of things I hate, but I respect it more, I guess.
1986. It is really, really old. 1986.
Uh, Alex, you can go. Teddy's
Okay,
gonna have
I'll
the biggest
go.
one.
For this game, I don't know.
Something else.
Yeah, you will.
I didn't have like my own NES growing up, so the first time I played a Zelda game was like Link to the Past, and it wouldn't be until the GameCube I had a friend that had that like Zelda collector's edition thing, the like collection, where I get to play like Zelda 1 and 2 for the first time, and also like I guess Ocarina and Majora Mask are on there too. And yeah, that's my first really experience with Zelda 1. And it's always been a game that I've danced around because it's like it seemed very hard to get into because it is so much. It's like even from Link to the Past, it feels some like more primitive in so many ways. So yeah, we'll see where this map out leads.
So you didn't play it in one shot. Like you saw the game back then, you tried it, and it wasn't until later that you played it and beat it. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually, with no surprise to anybody that listens to this show, back then when I was playing his game over at his house, I tried Zelda 1, but like where it is such like a guide heavy game, I didn't really get that far. I put a lot more Zelda 2 on that thing. So that's probably why I like Zelda 2.
Mm-hmm.
Daddy, your turn.
Well, as everyone here knows, I grew up with the Nintendo 64. And my first game of all time was Ocarina of Time, and it's what a freaking standard. So when, I learned about The Legend of Zelda on NES, I avoided it. It's just everybody had negative things to say. This game is too cryptic. It's random bombs in the wall. You got to burn down a bush. So it's just like, why should I try this? Later, I did get the anniversary collection for the GameCube, whatever it was called, collector's edition. Did not play the NES one, but I did play Ocarina, and I played Majora's Mask. Majora's Mask ended up glitching on that thing, but too bad. So I played it other ways. It's not a big deal. I got the Smash Bros. Brawl. I think I did the 2 minutes or less of Zelda. Then, it broke, whatever. And or like it just doesn't let you keep playing. Okay, great. I got the Switch, and, I had the online service. And what did I play? Super Nintendo games. Great. Brian sends me my first ever NES, a couple months ago, and my first instinct, buy Mario games. So we come into NES month. Alex pitches this great idea. Hey guys, we're all in favor of swapping this for Zelda. Say aye. And I'm like, okay. So here we are, and we're playing Zelda for the NES for the map out, and I had a time.
I foresee this being a very good map out.
Hey, that's okay. Well, no,
Passion.
you get to cover it from your modern perspective. Nothing wrong with that. Like knowing that we all had to use a walkthrough for this game, or anticipating that we would all use walkthroughs for this game. I thought, okay, realistically, if I decided to play this and there was no walkthrough and I just studied these maps, how long would I need to beat this game? And like, I don't know, it would be like a 60-hour game or something. Or I guess if you're trying to get every secret. But you're right, Teddy, when you mentioned bombing this wall or lighting that bush on fire, I tried looking for little patterns or differences in the patterns in some of the map layouts. Was it like 2 bushes on the left and 3 bushes on the right? Did that mean that there was something in the middle or 2 tiles away? No, there's no rhyme or reason to anything. So I don't know what it was like at the time, but wasn't Nintendo occasionally putting in hints or what to do next in their issues of Nintendo Power or whatever newsletter they had? So rather than put a few small little details in the game, just make something an off color. No, instead you're gonna have to wait for us to tell you what to do because we couldn't be bothered. And I know 86, but it's like, oh man. Just a few things.
Well, that's the thing, right? It's like, I've talked with you before about like, did you have to be there at the time? And actually, I think for this one, you might have had to because, if word of mouth was such a big thing, like other people had the Nintendo, had the Zelda cart, you both pooled off each other information. One person subscribed to Nintendo Powers, or maybe you trade on and off, or maybe one person has the guide. Even having the physical like manual or the map, is just such a big deal. So I do think that to fully appreciate this game, yeah, you probably should have been there at the time, but it doesn't mean there aren't things you can appreciate about that type of experience now. I tried for the hell of it, just streaming without looking at the guide at all, and I was having a decent time. I think I made it to dungeon or labyrinth. They call them Labyrinth 4 in this game, and maybe I could have kept going. Don't know, but yeah, decent time.
Yeah, I mean it's such an early example of this type of game anyway, and like the idea at the time that like you bought the game brand new, which is what was expected. It came with the reading material in the box. You bought the guide, whatever was out. You had Nintendo Power, like that's what was expected. I think what makes this game harder to get into today is like back in 1986, they didn't expect me to have a Nintendo 2DS XL in my pocket where I could download the original Legend of Zelda without any of that context. You know, it's just like I needed that context. So I feel like if anything, it's Nintendo's fault now because for like Virtual Console or like the Switch Online and stuff, they should include that material in some sort of format alongside the game. Be like, okay, and here's the manual or here's the guide that we sold with it in like a digital format.
I don't think so because they know that the internet exists. It's not like it's like
but it's just like I don't know, like
would you like to have a guide?
Should I have?
Would you like?
I don't feel like I should have to rely on some random dude's guide online that's like part of Nintendo's plan
But honestly,
to have
though,
me play their game.
Like, would you prefer to have a guide that you have to like read through as a PDF, or would you like to just have a guide that you can Control F and find the answer that you're looking for?
You're not wrong, but I'm just saying that Nintendo makes this game cryptic today.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about this too while I was playing it. Like, there's all those walls that they're not really marked. I mean, technically, though, I will give them the credit that if you find the dungeon map, it will tell you that there's a room next to you. So theoretically, you know, that could be a clue to them. But I was also thinking at the time, like another game that came out in the same era was Metroid, which has a lot of those things, and everyone loves it. So I could see them being a little bit confused, being like, that literally the same thing, and everyone likes this one, and everyone hates this one. Now, granted, there's some major differences between the two. Obviously, like the resources in one Zelda are incredibly limited with bombs, and as opposed to Metroid, which you can pretty much just squat and take a shit, and then the bomb will pop out. But like, still, like it is interesting to see the different ways that people were making games at the time when they didn't have, you know, the foresight that we have now. So it was more than it was fun. It was a very interesting experience, I think, playing through Zelda 1.
There had to be a first Zelda.
Yeah, and there had to be one.
It was revolutionary.
Yeah.
And I save scummed my way through the fucking hell out of it.
Yeah.
Did you play
Which was also revolutionary for me.
Yeah. Dude, it was like freaking Prince of Persia for me.
I'm playing it again. I'm playing the Virtual Console release on the 2DS XL. So every time I do anything in a dungeon or overworld, I am tapping that touchscreen and pushing the save button on that fucking thing. And it's like, oops, I died against a boss. Save, reload. Nope, I'm not doing this shit again.
Yeah. How do we get started?
By all means.
Yeah.
All right, so let's jump into the world of Hyrule, the first ever Hyrule.
How do we want to do this? Do we want to like talk about the overworld first and then do dungeons, or what?
It all starts with an old man in a cave. That's all I have.
Starts outside the cave, actually.
It all starts outside a cave with an old man inside.
Inside a cave. That's a good question.
Like,
I don't know. Do you want
to get in this cave?
do you? That's a good question. About do we start with the entire overworld or?
There are differences between the overworld and the dungeons. A few that I noted, anyway.
I think we could talk about the overworld and then focus on dungeons. I think that might be a good progression.
Cool with that.
So
yeah, just general impressions of the overworld, and then we'll get to the underworld.
I think the overworld has the same issue as the original Metroid, where it was such an early NES game that like maybe there was just a limited palette they could use for certain areas or like limited assets. But like the first time I ever played this, like the overworld, it seemed like I would walk around and like things just kind of looked the same. But upon actually playing through the game, I noticed that things actually aren't the same, and like I started to like pick up on like some iconography. I'd be like, walk past this area, I'd be like, oh, I've been to this place before. I know where I am on the map. So I think there actually is a little more to the overworld than I initially thought.
More than meets the eye.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I thought actually like one thing you can say that's positive about this game's overworld is that things are recognizable. And maybe not in like your first 5 minutes of playing it, but yeah, once you go back and forth a few times, you realize like Okay, where there's this little crook in the mountain, this is the direction to head up for whatever. And I don't know. Usually the NES games are like hit or miss with color palettes too. This one's fine. This one's pretty. It's not
Yeah.
offensive. I wonder like
Um,
how you should even critique these things when it's like, well, we're talking about the prototype. We're not talking about edition 2 or 3. We're talking about the prototype. Yeah, the prototype was fine.
and on that, I'm gonna make a kind of a bold statement here, but
Spencer's bold statements.
yeah, well, no, I won't. But anyway, that requires more editing for me, so no. But I will say, I think if we're talking about the overworld, it may be the single most important thing in video games for me, maybe ever. And other games may have tried it, but Zelda's the one that I think nailed it. Is reversing the concept of what a game is supposed to be at this time, of either an arcade game or a left to right side scroller, and saying, let's build a huge world filled with junk, and you can do things at your sort of your pace. That's debatable in sort of in that concept, but giving you the experience of freedom. Was really just like because we talked about this in a previous episode of my disdain for the NES because it just felt like an extension of a lot of arcadey mechanics, and this just seemed like a huge effort that they were like, oh yeah, Spencer doesn't like this, let's make something entirely different than that. And I, as much as this game is a struggle in a lot of ways, I really appreciated their choice to like say, no, we're not doing any of that. Any idea that seems arcadey, we're tossing it out and trying a different approach. And I felt like the overworld represents that.
I will make an equally bold statement in saying that the fish people are fucking ugly and I hate them.
Damn, dude.
Yeah, they suck.
Zoras.
That's racist.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
isn't
can
it
I
cool
say?
how those are Zoras?
Yeah, I think
Did you
they
guys
are
read that in the guide? Yeah, they're Zoras.
Yeah, they're
So it's like Zelda 1, you're actually fighting who later on in the
Hey.
series is your ally every time.
I prefer fish people if we're talking naming conventions, but to each their own.
Those fish.
Now, I will say that if I was more invested in this game, like to just play Zelda NES, I would spend more time just browsing through the overworld, collecting more rupees. That's kind of my issue, is like playing this on a time crunch. There are not enough rupees to get the shit you need.
Yeah, it's hard.
Well, maybe you need a better guide because a lot of those rupees, I didn't know this my first time playing it, and that was with a walkthrough as well. But I watched the shortest long play that I could find, and this guy was so decked out before Dungeon 1. He had, I think, sword upgrade, shield upgrade, and he made sure to get bombs first, and he bombed probably like 7 locations around the map, and at least half of them had 100 rupees in them. But just they're there. Again, it comes back to this problem where Nintendo really enjoyed putting these little things in the world. It's just how the heck are you supposed to find them?
Yeah.
Yeah, even so, in order to get the candle, let's just say the candle to burn a
Mhm.
bush to get that 100 rupee one, I think you need what, like 80 rupees? So you have to kill 80 Octoroks along your way, and hope that they drop a rupee or a 5 rupee thing. I'm just spoiled by future Zelda games, like using the shovel to dig up rupees.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this one doesn't say here how much the first bombs are, but it looked fairly straightforward where the guy just did a route, killing everything along his way once, no backtracking, and somewhere on the east part of the map, he went into a cave or something and he bought bombs from a shop. Also, different shops have different prices for the items. You could find the
Yeah.
same upgrade for 3 different prices at 3 different shops. I had no clue about that.
Yeah, the rupee thing can be an issue. The having to fight enemies, I think there could have been like a different way to find rupees that isn't so cryptic or something. But like even then, it still feels grindy. And honestly, even before we were recording, I've been playing Skyward Sword HD for some reason. And
So let's do a fair comparison. I like this.
yeah, but I'm just saying, like, that game as well. I've noticed I'm like slicing shit in half, and like I'm like grinding for rupees, and I'm like, this is still monotonous. Like, it's still monotonous. So now it's how many years later is that? You know,
Skyward Sword sucked for that.
Yeah,
Part of the
It's
charm.
just like, damn it. But I think overall, I think the overworld for me, it does what I need it to do in Zelda. Okay, so in this game particularly, there still is an order of operations, which could be seen as an issue for an open world game, but that's fine. I think the overworld still gives this illusion of freedom. You know, that like you can adventure, you can create your own story and narrative. And I guess in many senses, if you're going off a guide, you probably can in some ways be like, oh, I found this thing first before I took out the first dungeon. But I think what's hard to like go back to is that mindset of 1986, because even A Link to the Past, that map shits all over this one, or even like Zelda 2's is like way better than this one. So it's hard to go back to this and be like, oh, I appreciate it for being an open world, when I'm like, I've seen it done so much better later on, you know.
I strongly disagree. Just in the context of it being the first one, I was impressed by how much they did right. I mean, their concept, they didn't give clues really as to what you can do, so that's a problem. But they just didn't know. They literally just didn't know. But other than that, like, I feel like the regions are distinct. I disagree with the idea that it's like an illusion of freedom. I think it is freedom. Now, the order of operations that you have to do things in is a little bit more railroaded, like as it should. I mean, that's just game progression. Like if you were to say that, take that concept and apply it to like Grand Theft Auto, everyone knows that's the open world format. That had, you know,
oh yeah, that's
a set path
you have to do in order.
Yeah. So I mean, I disagree. I think it doesn't have the illusion. I think it is probably the most free game maybe ever. I mean, I was walking up like literally the top of the map without barely getting a sword. I mean, it's hard. And you're gonna die, but it's not like they didn't let you.
And this is the topic that you almost got into a fist fight with Brian over, right? Was the open world in Zelda 1 compared to like Breath of the Wild, which I do think Breath of the Wild captures this energy as well,
right?
Because that game is basically like, you know, like you have things you have to accomplish, but it's basically just like, go do it, like go find a way, go do it, and you're just like, okay.
I need that clip now. Spencer almost gets in a fist fight with Brian over Zelda map.
That's a thing that happened in that episode. It was.
I remember, but I need it like as a standalone clip.
I'll beat his old ass. I don't care.
That could be the theme of Terry's next WWE event.
Yeah.
The Zelda map. Hey, listen, I'm strongly impressed by how much they do wrong.
Oh man, it's fighting words.
Gotta love the precursor to the Lost Woods. Go up 5 times to find Dungeon 5.
The precursor. This is the original Lost Woods, Teddy.
They're just woods.
Yeah, that you got lost in. Yeah.
Did you not get lost?
I had a guide.
But even that
NES guy did me well.
I mean, it's not perfect, but it is interesting. Like we're still talking about that stuff like 40 years later almost. Like that's, you know, that means something, I think. And yeah, it's like in the mountains they had a similar thing with the scrolling, but it gives a couple things. It gives a sense of wonder and it gives a sense of scale where they didn't. It's like a creative way of saying we don't have a lot of memory, or we don't know how to use memory that well yet. Let's find a different solution for it. And they came up with something. Was it perfect? You know, obviously not. It's bullshit to have you walk up 4 screens. But you know, it's an attempt at a solution for a problem, and I admire it. I just like that's clever.
Wonder.
I still greatly appreciate it. Don't get me wrong there. I'm just saying it's harder for me to like be like, this is fucking perfect.
Well, yeah. Would I play this game like unprompted? Probably not. But,
yeah, right with that.
But if we're gonna play it, I'll look at it at face value and admire what they tried to do. You know.
I'm more on your side, Spencer. I agree. There are more things that this game does right than it does wrong. And that's not even considering the fact that it's like you have to evaluate as being one of the earliest video games, just as an NES game. It was one of the more fun games that I have gone back to play. There were more fun portions than unfun portions, at least. And you know what? Something about these older games that everyone talks about, like, the new games don't feel the same way. One thing that I recognize this time, the frequency of the enemies feels absurd for like what you're used to in a Zelda game, right?
Oh boy.
Here we go again. Another map screen, another 3, 4, 5, 6 enemies. Oh, you push a bush, there's like a 7th one coming out, or it's like a dark nut if you touch the statue or something. I don't know. I was just wondering what you guys thought about, like, did the enemies make the game feel repetitive and tedious way too quickly? Was it frustration? Was it, well, I can run past, so it's not the worst thing? I don't know what you guys thought about that.
There were some areas where it got absurd. I think it was like it was around the 4th or 5th dungeon, the areas with like the stairs in the map, and then like the guys with the sword hands. I don't know what they're called.
Yeah.
There's areas where you'll come down a flight of stairs and then you'll be just stuck in the flight of stairs, and it'll be like 3 of them like blocking you. I'm like, you fuckers! Like, I just need to get past here.
Oh yeah.
It's like, it just seems so unfair.
It's brutal. It would be nice if the heart drop rate was a little better. I mean, my only workaround really was to go buy the potion, and thankfully, if you buy the red potion, you get 2 sips, and it restores all your health. Also, the guide is so necessary, not just for the heart containers, but for that level up sword. I can't imagine doing those later portions without it.
Yeah, well, and again, I'm gonna give the game a compliment here. It did throw a lot of enemies at you in the wild. We're speaking of the overworld right now, but I was also impressed that if you went back to a previously completed zone, all the enemies were cleared out. So it retained some memory of your progress. Now, if you did it later, they'd come back, which is also kind of cool. But just little things like that make you feel like you've made a difference in the world, at least in the immediacy of it. I was really impressed by. I didn't think that there were too many enemies, and I thought that the enemies were placed in a way that helped you understand where you should be at the time. And because if you go to the mountains, those things will murder you. Like, you can't even block the freaking spears they're throwing at you. They'll murder you. So you realize, oh, you know what? Maybe what I'm looking for is a little bit south, like not quite up here. And then you'd explore, and sometimes even the terrain would change in a way that told you you're in a new zone. So the enemies will be a little bit harder, a little different. I thought that was good. When we talk about the dungeons, I'll have a slightly different opinion, but that's. But I thought the overworld, again, for some reason it just clicked with me. The overworld, I really liked it.
I think a weird element is, well, for one, like the drops, like I do wish the heart drops were more frequent, but the rubies and hearts are fine. But that clock, that felt out of left field for me when you
out of place.
Get the clock in the phrase. Yeah. It was cool though, because like I never thought about it, and then like I got the clock and I was like fighting some Tektites, and I was like, whoa! I was like, wait a second, they used this in Breath of the Wild. Remember that? They like had the freeze ability; you could freeze enemies, and I'm like, they totally used that later on. I was like, I never thought about that before, but this was in Zelda 1, I guess.
Well, and what I noticed that the Capcom games take a lot from Zelda 1. It's really it's interesting how much they take from
the Game Boy Color ones. Yeah, a lot of even the enemy design, you don't see those wolves that shoot laser beams.
Yeah,
in like any other Zelda game.
Well, in the Minish Cap, those you named it. I don't know if I should call him Justin or Leo, because Leo, people know him in the YouTube channel.
Fine.
Justin, all right, Justin, who is Legend of Leo. What are the names of those like statues?
Okay, those Bombos, yeah, or Beamos, depends on what they fire. Yeah, I think Beamos is the most.
No, the statues that come to life.
Dark Nut.
Yeah,
that's the Dark Nut is the guys that walk around with the swords that you have to hit them from
Dark
the
Nuts
corner.
are the knights.
Armos statues are the ones that come to life.
Armos, yeah,
okay,
yeah. They always get the name of whatever they have. They have armaments.
Okay. Armos. Those are in the Minish Cap, and you can actually like be small and walk up them and explore inside of them. So it's like just seeing that the Capcom was really appreciative of that original stuff is kind of interesting. So.
Yeah. I think they appear in Twilight Princess as well. I know that somewhere there's an Ocarina of Time actually. There's an enemy where like once you get the final hit on it, it gives the countdown timer till an explosion and starts jumping and spinning around. I think that is in Arnamos. In the Spirit Temple, maybe.
It's cool, yeah.
I
To see
believe
them,
you're
like,
right. I believe-
iterate.
Yeah.
I believe they are in Twilight Princess as well.
That is one of the good things about going back to Zelda 1. It's how much stuff they kept intact from the first game. Like, I love that. That was like every time you get to a new area, do you recognize anything that from your more modern games? It's like, wow, good for the ideas that they had at the time, that so much was worth keeping as they progressed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tektites have been in basically every 2D Zelda game.
Yeah, and 3D. Most of them, some of them.
That's true. Yeah.
Haven't seen him in Skyward Sword yet.
Yeah, okay. I don't know why I said most of them. Thought of Ocarina of Time, like 3D.
I'll keep an eye out.
That was a good.
Well, shall we do it?
Assessment. Yeah.
Well, hold on. I just wanted to say, Justin, what was your problem with the Zelda theme?
Problem with the Zelda theme?
Yeah, you said it was monotonous. You said the overworld music was monotonous.
Oh, once Teddy pointed that out to me, maybe like half a year ago or something, I just started realizing that the music in this game is 2 tracks. There's Overworld on repeat, and there's Dungeon on repeat. And I don't know why I didn't notice that my first time.
Oh, that's all you need.
Yeah.
The key is to play it on mute.
Yeah, I can't even remember how it goes.
I don't know.
What the Overworld? The Overworld's just the classic, like da 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 da, da right? And then
Sounds like medieval times.
yeah, it's the classic
little
Zelda.
bit,
Da, 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 da. And then
Oh, that one, yeah.
the dungeon theme is the da, 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 da. I actually like the dungeon theme. Yeah.
I like the game over theme. That one's good.
I never heard that.
Wow.
You gamed over.
Hold on,
Maybe
can
you
I
should
just
game
add a
over
little?
sometime.
There's a little. Here you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Way too late. All right. Okay. Let's hop into the dungeons. Let's put on that.
All
I was
right.
gonna say we could
Sounds good.
episode. Great job, boys. Did our work.
Dungeon.
All right, they're called labyrinths. Welcome to the first labyrinth zone.
I refuse to call them that.
Yeah, didn't you guys see level on your screen? Or, you know what? I'm probably not even recognizing. That's probably the sword that I'm mixing up on the UI. Level.
According to Black NES guy, this is Labyrinth 1, the Eagle.
I'm not going to argue.
I can't trust him because I don't even know who he is. There's no pictures of him online. Spencer could have made that guy. We wouldn't know.
Spencer, maybe we found a new calling for you. What will be your racial name?
What made you
Oh
get
my
this third-party map, by the way? This
What
third-party
kind
guide.
of- What kind of damn question is that?
Spencer, the half white, half Hispanic, like
White
That's-
Hispanic NES hater lover?
Yeah,
Question mark.
that's crazy. But okay.
What made me get this?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I put it on a Christmas list because I did eventually want to play Zelda 1, so I just looked up guides online and this guy's came up.
You're wild, man. Buying a third-party guide like that?
You're out of control.
It's decent.
Yeah.
Well, we started by calling me a wacko for calling Reese's by their proper name.
Mhm.
I didn't do it. I'm on your team. It is.
I hope
it is
that
Reese's.
wacko was a pretty gentle name. Didn't mean to offend anyone there.
No, Daddy's gonna be in therapy next week, and he's gonna be like, he called me a wacko.
Hey, Doc, I was on this episode and I'm calling
gave
them
me an
Labyrinth,
episode.
Reese's, and the guys just keep coming at me.
Oh shoot! I didn't realize there was a trend with what I'm pointing out to you. It's like you keep calling things the wrong name.
And then the therapist is eating a Reese's cup.
Well,
What
Reese's
are your
cup.
thoughts as I eat around the center of the
I
cup?
haven't had a Reese's cup, Spencer. I've had a Reese's cup.
Mm.
Okay, well, I don't know what shit you're eating, but just really change that.
Hey guys, let me put the bow on this. Reese's Pieces, not Reese's Pieces.
Oh, I
I
would
like
eat the
Reese's
fuck out of
Pieces.
Reese's Pieces.
That's what I'm afraid of.
You don't understand.
I never noticed that when they named these dungeons, they like the shape of the dungeon is representative of that name, like the eagle.
Kind of. It doesn't really follow suit later,
Right. It kind of falls apart
especially
later,
with the
but
swastika.
Hey, it's a Buddhist
yeah.
symbol. I think it means peace.
yeah, that's what
Not anymore.
apologists say.
Are we going 1, 2, 3, 4, etc., or just throw it out?
Yeah,
there?
we'll just jump through them. And honestly, like we could probably speed through most of these because a
Yeah.
lot of them are similar. Okay, so I don't know.
I have
Overall thoughts
overview
on-
points. Yeah, I don't have any
Yeah,
specific
say
points.
what are your overall thoughts first on like how the dungeons are even handled? I feel like the dungeons are simultaneously the best part of this game and also the worst part. I think about halfway through, the dungeons become the worst part of this game. Where it was like, at first I was like, hell yeah, this is fucking awesome. I'm having so much fun. And then at Dungeon 6, I was like, fuck this game. Stupid
But
game.
let's go already.
Yeah, well, the whole Metroid style of blowing up walls becomes like essential about halfway through this game, and then just like not even hinting at what that might be. That is annoying. It starts out kind of like Alex said. Like I think at the beginning of it, it's like they're kind of mysterious, and it's cool to see like enemies in there that you don't see outside, and it's kind of neat. And like, oh, there's a boss, and it's got his own trick to beating him, and cool. I feel like I've done something. And then about halfway through, it's like, we're just gonna throw rooms of enemies, and then you just have to hit a switch.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and then,
it's
oh,
like,
and by the
well,
way, there's like 30 of them. It's like, okay.
Yeah. It's like the earlier ones as well are like, you may get to a room, you may clear them out, and you may like, how do I open this door? I don't have a key or anything, and then like you have to push a block, and it's like, oh, that was cool, and then like later on, it's like, oh, here's a room with 30 enemies, and you need to push a block.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I think-
There you
Hey,
make me push this one.
I think they learned
guess
that.
what? Guess what's after this room? Another room with 30 enemies, and it's dark, and you're like, "Fuck you!"
Yeah. I think that they realized that when they made this game, and you can see a course correction later where they're like, okay, instead of a million enemies, let's put a cool puzzle. Oh, that's a lot more fun. Great. They just kind of solved that.
Or like if there are hard enemies in later games, they sort of are the puzzle. They're like you're like, how do I fight this big enemy? And like it may not even be the boss, but it's just like an enemy you haven't encountered. And then even then you'll beat it. You'll beat that enemy in like a later Zelda, and they'll be like, here's a key or here's a thing. Or I don't know.
No, you're right. They toyed around with mini bosses in this game, and then mini bosses became a staple in the later games. And that's how you would get your bow in whatever Majora's Mask. Yeah.
Yeah, these dungeons are tricky. I kind of like the idea of like hidden unnecessary rooms,
Mhm.
Yeah.
like rupees being being a certain shape, or like an old man with a secret, or
I
even the
hated the
idea of
old
going
man.
into the basement to get the item.
Yes.
Like you had to find those stairs. Just like that visual juxtaposition is neat.
Yeah, they
does
went
it
from Zelda
take
to
full
Mario
effect?
Underground.
My issue is kind of like, I think future Zelda games are more streamlined with their dungeons, where there's like a synchronicity between the item that you get and the boss. Whereas in this one, I pick up the item and I'm like, what is this?
Are you talking specifically about
Yeah,
the magic wand?
It's one of many.
I remember getting
I-
that. Like,
I
what
think-
the fuck does this do? Like it kind of hurts enemies, but it's useless.
Yeah, I think of like Link's Awakening, where they're kind of cohesive in like the sense of like you're getting the point of the dungeons in that game is like the musical instruments to wake the big fast fish, and it's like that game. It's like I feel a sense of progression. This game, it's like I got a ladder, Whoa!
And then it's like,
It's like,
well,
I
how
don't-
do I use this thing? And then it's like you step like one pace on the water. It's like, what am I doing with my sword here?
I thought the ladder was one of
I
the
don't know
better
how,
items, though.
how ladders work.
When you
It's
get to know the
cool, but-
ladder, it is better over time, and being able to like cross over like single spaces. But
Yeah, it trivialized a lot of the rooms.
The coding
It's
of the
very-
ladder was, and I didn't think it was ladder. I thought it was like a plank, but maybe it was a ladder. But the coding of it I didn't like because it's one directional. So like if you're on a corner piece, it doesn't let you go up and then left. It only lets you go forward, which can get you stuck in a lot of situations, especially when combat's going crazy. It'll just like pin you against something that you should just be able to cross. So I had some problems with it. I had some problems with it, but it should be. It is one of the more interesting items that I'm surprised didn't make it over, like to the other games, because it's kind of a cool item.
Nintendo,
It's
if
one.
you-
Yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead. I'm
I was
just
gonna
thinking
say
about that.
Nintendo, if you remake Zelda 1, replace the ladder with arm floaties. So that way, Link just puts on his little arm floaties and floats across the water, you know?
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Works on lava too. That's the thing. It's like it's such a cool item. Its usefulness is amazing because, like, I thought a lot of the rooms where they tried to shrink the room that you're fighting in by putting the one tile thin outline of like lava or in the room, right? So if you have the plank, we'll call it, all of a sudden it's like doot 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 doot. No, I'm fine. This room is just as big as I need it to be. But how do they dress it up to actually make it look good? It's like you have a great use, but you need to think of the cosmetic that makes sense for it. I don't know what they would do if they kind of remade a game or brought it back a new game, like hover boots, one directional hover boots, maybe. I don't know. I like the
Hoverboard,
idea.
yeah!
Edgy Link.
Back to the Future
Well,
stuff.
shall we get
All right.
more granular here? Let's go to the Labyrinth 1. The Eagle.
The Eagle.
Call.
I think I saw my friend playing this. This had specifically the ones with the Hershey's Kisses. I always thought they were Hershey's Kisses when I was a little kid.
I say Hershey's Kisses.
Oh yeah, I bet. I'm sure you have some clever, creative way of pronouncing that. Clearly defined.
Reese's
word.
Kisses.
Oh, this is your first time seeing the stall enemies, right? Stalfos in this game. They look so cool.
The Skelly Mans.
Little skeletons, yeah. I thought
They look like
cool.
Halloween cookies. I want to eat them.
I liked them. Yeah, there they are. Yeah.
Yeah, they're cute. That's the cool thing about this game also, is that I love the imagery and the iconography of this game, because where it was an early NES game, because like later NES games they could definitely have more detail in this stuff. So like, but early NES games they have to look so simple, I guess, and I love that. Like, even though I've never been a big fan of the first Zelda, I have like a Switch case with all kinds of like Zelda 1 stuff all over it, and I have like a Switch sticker and stuff on my Switch. It's like a decal. It's like Zelda 1 stuff, because like it looks so simple. It's like cute.
Yeah, even the keys. It's like the Zelda Draki from Dragon Quest.
Yes, like iconic. Yeah, Zelda 1 is like the poster child of we're trying. We tried our best.
Oh, Metroid as well. Metroid 1, it's like when you see Kraid in that game, he's like a little, or like Ridley, they're like small and derpy, and I'm like, that's cute.
Yeah. So I like the effort. I like the effort.
Teddy, does the book there say what what the dungeon boss is? Like, is that a Gleeok?
So the name of the dungeon boss. By the way, this dungeon has 5 enemy types besides the boss. It has
That's pretty good.
Wall Masters, Goria, which is like those moblins. It has the Keese, it has the Stalfos, and it has they call them gels, the Hershey's Kisses.
Oh yeah.
And then the
Fine.
item in
Are
this
the-
one is what's that?
Oh, so I was saying, are the Wall Masters the hand bullshit guys?
Yes, hand bullshit
Okay.
guys.
Wait, aren't they?
And
Are we sure? Oh, but yeah, they probably
What?
are. I didn't even know. I didn't remember that they were in this, but I guess they are, huh?
I think
Yeah,
like
I only
word
remember them
out.
from one dungeon too, and not dungeon 1, but yeah.
There he is.
Yeah.
Master of the
Yeah,
wall.
that's him. That's a guy.
The item in this dungeon is the bow. Raise your hand if you bought arrows before you went in.
Hell no. I got
Neither.
stuck. I
Alright.
got stuck trying to switch it over to the bow, and I was like, I don't understand.
Yeah, I didn't understand either because I was just playing it guideless. So I had the bow, but no arrows. And then the name of the dragon boss is Aquamentus.
Oh, okay.
That's an awesome
That's-
name.
Yeah, that is pretty sick. It's like a band, metal band.
Yeah, that's the name of my band or my metal album, Aquamentus. Yeah, the dragon was cute. He just kind of stomps around and shoots fireballs.
You also
Yeah,
get
just
the.
wondering.
You can also get the boomerang here.
Is it here or the next one?
The item that
Doing this-
pissed me off the most was the boomerang because I would constantly.
Oh, yeah?
I would run out. I would like run out of bombs or something, and it would default back to the boomerang, and then I would go to use a bomb, and I would just chuck this worthless piece of wood at somebody, and I would just be like shit.
No, you're right, Spencer. It is here. There's one room where if you kill the moblin guys, you can get the wooden boomerang.
Nice.
And
Man,
there's the old
that's-
man. I hated
It's
him.
so crazy how I remember with Breath of the Wild, the Lizalfos having boomerangs. I was like, oh, that's a cool weapon. A little strange in Zelda, I guess. Like we have boomerangs now, but no, they've been here since the beginning. I don't know. It's gonna make me question how many things in the later games did I look at and go, that's a little out of place. But nope, the idea's been planted there since day one.
I was also impressed by the physics of the boomerang.
Yeah.
Like the smoothness of it. It almost seemed out of place. Like they touched that.
All
up
of the
after or something.
projectiles were really nice, weren't they? Like better than some of the just the side-scrolling shooters on the NES. This game's projectiles were really good.
Speaking of which,
Boomerang,
how many of you?
vomit.
Because I did this constantly. How many of you died in a dungeon, went back out, got enough hearts to have the shooty sword, and then went back in? Because I did that all the fucking time.
For sure.
Whereas, like, I would basically like lose my hearts and not have the shooty sword, and I'm like, it's worthless. Like, I should just go back and get some more hearts because I need that.
Wasn't it easier
no.
to exit and re-enter the dungeon and then just do like the easy rooms in the dungeon to get your hearts back?
That's true too. Well, it depends on which dungeon you're in. Yes.
If you're lucky, they hit you with a fairy, but the fairy only gives you
Yeah.
5 hearts. I was taking damage so much. My trick was the potions to get that back.
Imagine getting hit and then not instantly rewinding until the point where you have full health again.
Oh,
Well,
there's
I
that
was,
too.
that's the one thing I regret is that I couldn't rewind because I wasn't playing the Switch Online. I was playing the
Switch.
2DS, so I could just do like the save state
Hmm.
on the touch.
And you can only do
screen,
one,
which
huh?
I'm surprised I'm surprised my touch screen isn't broken because I tapped that thing all throughout this game.
Zelda touch. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
How am I gonna play? I don't know what the touch screen.
You know,
game is.
you mentioned that you didn't like the old man thing. I kind of liked it, and the only reason I liked it, I would hate it if it were a normal Zelda game. But in this game, they were very liberal with handing out keys. I mean, I consistently left a dungeon with keys. So
Oh yeah,
keys,
I
yeah.
had like 2 or 3 keys on me at all times.
if it was like you can only have the amount of keys per dungeon, then I would be furious if I opened a door and it was like just some old guy who's like, you should bomb the wall. I'd be like, fuck you. But no, like they gave you so many keys. I was cool with it. I was like, go ahead. What do you got, old man?
Hell yeah.
Hit me with
I
some
think
knowledge.
Did that
It is-
confuse anyone else
it
at
is-
first? Like, oh shoot, why do I still have these in my inventory?
Yeah, a little
Counted
bit.
as
Yeah,
blessing.
Oh, wow.
At first, I was like, "Did I miss stuff?" And then-
yeah.
But upon discovering the old man, I was like, "I missed nothing," because it's just like Zelda 1 and 2 have the same issue of like the hints being this, where it's like, "You should go to the yard with the bush," and I'm like, "Oh, fuck off."
It's
That was
like-
my thing. I would rewind if I realized a key was wasted on some useless hint. Because
Ah.
oftentimes you'd use the key to get into a room and it would just be like, just for the, inscription.
I think my cheapest rewinds, which will happen later, but I would go into a room and just bomb every wall and then just rewind if it didn't work.
I do that all the time.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't buy any of the upgrades. Yeah. I definitely did that too.
I can't do that.
All right.
Like, I appreciate that there were a lot of unnecessary rooms per dungeon. So, again, like on the overworld, yeah, there's a little bit of some freedom to how you explore the dungeon. But I had to get each room, man. I had to see everything for my OCD, my 100%.
Mm.
I understand that.
You guys want to move on
All
to
right,
the moon?
yeah, let's go to the moon. You guys ready to go? This is
Are
it's kind of a moon.
you guys want to go to the moon?
Crescent moon. Yeah.
Beam me up.
This is where I like Zelda fans. It's like the bats are keys, and I'm like, that's annoying, but whatever. The fucking snakes are called ropes, and I'm like, fuck off. They're snakes. Get off my ass.
Yeah, that's like the most clearly defined animal in the game, and it's like they called it something
It's a
else.
goddamn snake.
This is a zebra.
It's a rope. I was like, okay, so bats and keys. I'm like, oh, whatever, it's fine. But like, I guess they're Teddy. I don't know if you know this, but like, are they named keys because of like the sound? Like, is it like that's it? Because like Japanese do a lot of things based on sound. I don't know, but like a rope is just fucking lazy. Yeah. But like a rope is just fucking lazy. That's a snake.
So unless like rope is a direct translation of the word they use for snake, maybe I don't know.
I did this one fourth, I think. This dungeon, I didn't do it second.
Cool. You want like a
Too bad.
trophy or something?
You're doing it second now.
I want a Reese's.
You want to read? Yeah. You want a Reese's cup?
Yeah, I want a Reese's Cuppies.
Cuppies.
Well, this is the ultramarine blue color scheme, right?
Yes.
The vivid blue color scheme.
Yeah,
It's the moon.
it's the
It has
yeah.
ropes, blue Goria, Moldorm.
That's the weird mid boss. That's the mid boss.
the
No,
snaky
it's just a snake thing. I don't think it's you don't even have to fight it. I don't think.
Oh, you don't have to fight it.
But you
You're
get a key out of it. And then there's a hint. Also, there's a magic boomerang, so you can upgrade the boomerang. That's pretty cool.
perfect.
Um,
And my boy,
Mm-hmm.
my boy Dodongo.
so you can get bombs. Alex, your mic's acting funny again.
Oh no. Let me go camera.
Maybe you can do a
that helps.
quick thing on that. And then this is where the final boss is Dodongo.
My boy
Best-
Dodongo.
One of the coolest bosses, man, in the whole series.
Yeah. Feed him bombs and he dies.
Just like me.
We did that with Alex one time.
You fed me bombs and I died.
Yeah, remember that? Remember dying from the bombs?
Yeah. I was like, talk about
He
it.
thought he was eating
Yes.
Coffee Crunch. Little did he know.
You know what? This has to
I was
be
eating Reese's Pieces.
this has to be like the least intimidating looking final boss, though. Just
And
it's a
slow,
cute little
yeah.
dinosaur, man. It's like a little
He's
triceratops.
the cutest. He's so cute. I
Yeah.
want to keep him as a pet.
Uh,
He's just like stomping around. Like, get out of my house.
I mean, by the time I got here, I was so overpowered for this fight that.
Mm.
'Cause
Yeah. When did you do this? So like I did the dungeons in order because like I used this very guide that I'm referencing, but I only used it. I didn't use it for the dungeons. I only used it to find the dungeons on the overworld. But so I did them in this order. But when did you do this one, Spencer?
I'm pretty confident I did it fourth. And I only started. I didn't want to use I want to see how long I could go without using a guide. So I did those three, and then I was like, I have no idea what to do now. And then I booted up the guide. I was like, all right, let's start using it. I said, oh, I missed an entire dungeon. And then it said like, oh, and here's where all the hearts were, and I said, oh, okay, might as well do that at this point. So I walked into this and just stomped it. It was nothing.
but overall, it's not like the bosses were that difficult. I actually thought I took the most damage in the overworld, then the most damage in the dungeon rooms, and then finally the bosses dealt the least amount of damage to me.
Right? Yeah,
And
they're more mechanics focused than anything.
Yeah, and it's not like they were bad either. I think the boss fights were still the most fun enemy encounters. It's just, I guess it's nice because, yeah, you don't have to have a difficult boss for it to be enjoyable. It doesn't have to be like beating the snot out of you for it to be good.
Mm-hmm.
I knew what to do. Like for the Dodongo, that's like a legacy fight, right? So you feed it bombs, but I was so confused on like how to do it. How do you get him to eat the bomb? But so it took me a couple tries, but it's cool once you figure out the right way.
I think to echo your sentiment, Justin, I think my issue with the later dungeons is going to be that they fill the room with too many enemies, and then by the time I get to the boss, even though the boss isn't that hard, I have like a heart left.
Yeah.
All right, the moon. We went to the moon. We got
Now we're-
mooned.
Coming back down.
To the Manji.
I hesitate to show this one
To
on
the
screen, but we're
swastika.
going to the Manji.
Next one, water temple or
Oh, Teddy, no!
I'm surprised this wasn't Dungeon 9. Okay. That joke is bad.
Well, you can thank the writer of the guide.
Yeah.
Got any new enemies in here? The Zol? Is this called?
Those dark nuts. Those fucking
Dark
Hell
Notes.
assholes.
That's what I do.
There
And Dark Nut. Okay.
are so many Dark Nuts.
Bubble. Oh, fuck the bubbles, man. I never thought my least favorite enemy in a game would be a fucking bubble.
Bubbles. What was wrong with the bubbles?
The things that they like stun you for a minute so you can attack. The little fuzzy dude things. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
hate
never
those
mind.
things.
You're right. Yeah, those are annoying. At least they
Yeah,
don't
those
hurt
things-
you. I learned that they don't do any damage, so that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, but
As
they
the
just
final
they're
boss.
just- the best name. The best name for the final boss.
You want
Manhandle.
to say it?
Manhandler.
You got Dark Nuts
I
and a
read-
Manhandler.
Do they
You know what
use
this dungeon's
Manhandler in another traditional Zelda? I know they use them on like
Mhm.
Hyrule. I'm not gonna count that shit. What do they use them in? I don't know.
well, in Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, there's the Manhandla Bridge. So they took the name at least.
Oh, I thought you meant the boss was in Breath of the Wild. I was like, I don't remember that shit. I played Tears of
No.
the Kingdom, but I was like, I don't remember him in
But-
there.
But yet another cool thing about Breath of the Wild was like, it just, hey, is there some way we can include that old enemy or that old reference? Okay, it's the name of this location. Sick.
I remember the swastika dungeon from Breath of the Wild. No, I'm just kidding.
This boss, I beat. I was just gonna say like, can I hit it with a bomb? And then I killed it in one shot.
hmm
I was like, whoa, whoops.
Oh, okay. No, you said traditional Zelda. You fight this thing in Hyrule Warriors.
I said that, but that's not a traditional zone.
Oh, and you mentioned that too. My bad.
Yeah. And that you like use the boomerang, right? And like Hyrule
I think
Warriors or
so, to
something?
bring its heads down and then
they get all four of that. Yeah, whatever.
Wait, Alex, you said tradition. I think you fight this guy in Hyrule Warriors.
Yeah, is that your favorite traditional? If that's a traditional Zelda, then I've played that one more than anybody else. Has.
Yeah,
Guys, one of my favorite Zelda traditions
played
is to
like
play Hyrule
300
Warriors.
hours.
yeah.
I played 300 hours of that damn game.
Yeah, that's really a high value game for your money.
This dungeon starts the tradition. Speaking of tradition, of starting you off in a room with a bunch of enemies, and then bringing you to a room with a bunch of the same exact enemies.
Oh
So
yeah.
your reward for killing all of the Dark Nuts here is to kill all of the Dark Nuts here. And they are a pain in the ass to kill because you can't hit them dead on. You have to catch them at a corner. But they are smart AI. 1986 Nintendo, you fuckers.
Oh, wait till we get to
Program
the
some smart AI.
wait till we get to the damn ghosts or whatever it was in the later things.
Yeah.
The wizard ghosts or whatever. Oh my
It was robes.
good
Wizrobe.
lord.
The Dark Nuts are always to me, it always seemed like a cool enemy anyway. I remember the big one you had to fight in one of the dungeons in Twilight Princess was also like pretty big. So like, yeah, it was cool to see like even in the versus Zelda, they were hard.
Well, they're thinking about swordplay,
Yeah.
which I admire.
Yeah.
This is
Get
also
wrapped.
with these harder enemies in some of the dungeon rooms. This is where you just don't know if it's like, oh, should I kill all 9 of them or whatever it is? Is there going to be a drop at the end of it, or do I skip it? I don't know if I'm going to have to come back here after I've killed 2. Maybe I just kill the remaining 7 right now and see if there's a drop.
Skip.
You guys don't like the raft?
It's fine.
All right, next one, dude.
How about the rafts? Good raft.
The snake. I'm surprised they didn't call it the rope.
The other way around.
I'll be here all night.
It was the rope. Can't you see it looks like a rope?
It
Wait,
doesn't
this
look
way.
like a
Well,
snake.
you may need the raft for the next dungeon labyrinth. As Alex was alluding to, the snake.
The rope.
The rope.
Oh. Let's see the rope. Hold on. Here it is. Here's your snake.
No, it's rope.
What is this? What kind of rope is this?
Haven't you seen a rope before? It looks just like that.
That's when you
Yeah,
have it
that's what they call
coiled
it.
around your
A bottle.
shoulder.
Yeah.
It's thicker here because you have it coiled
Yeah,
around your
it's
shoulder, and then
coiled
a little bit
around.
hangs off.
Yeah, it's a rope. Come on.
Everyone has seen that before, man.
Teddy, come on. Pretend you've handled a
Is
rope
my
before.
abdominal that small? What happened?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's the rope. Snake
You
rope.
know, I'd heard that before playing the game too. Like, oh, each of the dungeons looks like something, and I think I recognized it for 1 or 2, and then I thought, no, they're reaching, and
Yeah,
I
this
never,
is-
I didn't know that was a friggin'
Oh,
snake,
yeah.
man. Come on,
This okay. The map layout of here looks like a snake on the Atari 2600, baby.
Yeah. Inspiration.
I don't even have a problem with Nintendo. Like, if that's a Nintendo thing, I don't have a problem with the game. I feel like that's just something generated by the fans who have played it. Like, every dungeon looks like something. No, I don't think that's true. But cool. It's
I
like
don't
looking at
know.
a cloud.
I don't
That
know.
cloud
I mean,
looks
this-
like an arcade cabinet. Oh yeah, that cloud looks like a car.
This is a Miyamoto game, and Miyamoto is pretty stupid. He likes to do this shit, so it's possible.
Miyamoto, that idiot.
It was based on my
I love the
adventures in
guy.
the field one day where I saw a garden snake and I said, "Honey, get the rope."
Yeah.
That's why we called them ropes.
Miyamoto put some stupid shit. He put some stupid shit in his game, so this is very much possible that it could actually be based on shit.
Eddie, that's exactly the kind of thing though you'd read in like one of those translated interviews with him, when everyone reads it and they just revere him as this godlike deity. It's just like, oh my god, did you know that? It's like, yeah, here we go again.
So what happened was, I've read enough of these now. These BS interviews, yeah.
This
So
fight-
a couple of enemies here: Keese, Vire.
Vire. Gotta look that one.
Vire.
Oh yeah,
Vire's the bigger
okay.
Keese. Yeah.
It's like the gargoyle looking thing.
Yeah, I thought it was like a gargoyle.
Happy gargoyle with 4 eyes.
The like
Gel, big,
okay,
big
they're not
gel.
even
okay, the
not even
likes
trying with that.
in
Like
Licky licky.
in Ocarina of Time.
Oh,
I
they're
always
lickies.
thought they looked like a, you know, like when an uncircumcised.
Like a finger trap, like a Chinese finger trap. That's what I thought. Yeah.
No, no.
I can't believe you guys have been calling them likes.
Like
You get the
something
pronunciation's killing me here.
That's what it says
sorry.
in the thing. It says
Sorry,
like.
Teach.
This isn't me. This is goddamn ZeldaDungeon.net.
Hey, okay. Do you guys say Hylian or Hylian?
Oh,
Hylian.
good one.
Hylian.
Highly on the way.
I grew up with Hylian, and it's been like
No.
Me too. Yeah.
to try to change it to
know.
Hylian.
There's no change to that one. See, that's the problem. There's no voice acting in these games. It's not a problem. That's the blessing. Is there
No,
could be
no, no,
multiple
no, Teddy.
pronunciations.
That's fucking bullshit. Games should have voice acting in it. I don't care how far back it goes.
I didn't say it shouldn't have it. I'm just saying
Zelda
it
2
because it
has-
doesn't. That's why we
Zelda
have the
2
conundrum we do.
Zelda 2 has voice acting. When you die, Ganon goes. "Ruh, ruh,
Oh,
ruh." Voice acting. Voice acting right there. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, tell
It is.
Ganon to pronounce licky licky.
This is turning
Golly.
into an American Thanksgiving dinner argument. I like it, boys.
That's, you know what? I've turned everything around on my opinion of this game. There's no voice acting, and I fucking hate it.
There you go. What would so you want the old man voiced?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, go.
Frank, take
Here,
the
I'll give you the
sword.
one from the cover.
Walk into the waterfall.
It does say that. Go to the waterfall. How about this one?
Could you go to the CVS and get my medicine?
It's dangerous. It's
I would love
dangerous
that
to
on
go
the cover.
alone. Take this.
Take your meds.
Yeah, why isn't it voice acted? Now I'm kind of pissed. Like, this game sucks.
Remake. Anyways, the rope. You get the ladder.
Likes. Oh yeah, we were talking about the
Likey.
enemy.
You
Guys, there's a
likey
lot
or
of
do you
enemies
lick
in
it?
this game.
No, stop. You don't get the ladder, you get the step ladder. He's kind of like a ladder,
Oh,
but married your mom after the divorce. It's the step ladder.
Yeah.
no. Look at all
Those
these
underground
ladders.
portions were so good, though. Like, they didn't have to be complicated. They didn't have to be more than one screen. I just liked seeing something different. Probably my favorite part of the dungeons.
Yeah, they're cute. They remind me of they would do that later on with
The Capcom ones.
Link's Awakening.
Oh, and Link's
Well, that
Awakening.
too, but yeah, Link's Awakening did it first, where you go down and you have to get things enemies to hop on and stuff. Yeah,
It's just a nice surprise. Like, what am I going to get here? But Link's Awakening definitely pushes the concept.
Yeah, and the ideas also carried into Super Mario Odyssey. Like, just here's a glimpse of the old gameplay when you go on the murals. Have any of you played that?
never heard of it.
Oh, have we played
Mario?
Super Mario?
Yeah. Just here.
The Odyssey by Homer?
Is he related to Wario?
Oh,
No, I will never say if this is what it's about. I will never say Mario. I will never. No.
I love the part in Mario Odyssey where he has to take out the Cyclops. That's my favorite part of the game. Mario
so
Homer's Odyssey.
When they take the Trojan horse.
It's a stupid idea for a game.
Super Mario Homer's Odyssey. I love it.
This had one of the cooler bosses, the Gleeok, and I like that they carry it over later.
But you have to fight the Manhandle again, which is dumb.
We just
Or
handled the manhandler. Think again.
I don't think you have
We
to.
just saw him. Well, yeah, but he's there. I don't
No,
know.
Spencer. You have to.
No, because there's a hole in the wall.
Gleeok?
There's a hole in the wall on the right.
What a dumb name named Gleeok.
Just attacking people's names now.
No. You know
that's a dumb name. I'll tell you it's a dumb name. No, I'm just
Gleeok.
kidding. Gleeok. I'll name my son Gleeok after his grandfather. Gleeok. Gleeok Jr.
I'm
not
just
English.
saying, when he grew up with the other dragons, he was the one that was picked on. And that's
Yeah,
why he's here in this dungeon.
Yeah, angrily shooting a fireball from one of his heads.
cool boss though. Probably the most intimidating boss in the game.
Mhm.
Which dungeon
It's
is that?
fine.
Ready for the next labyrinth?
Yeah.
Labyrinth
Always.
5. The lizard.
That is not a lizard.
Let's see this
What are they
one.
talking about?
Hold on, I got it.
E.T.
That looks like Atari ET.
This looks like you know what I thought? I thought this was like a scorpion, like that. The top
I
part's
see
a stinger.
exactly what you see, Alex.
Yeah, it's like the old Atari ET game with a sprite.
Like for some reason, he has this nasty belly button hernia that sticks out as far as his nose.
Also,
no,
it's
that's-
like zombie
that's-
arms.
That's his dick. That's his
Don't
lifeline.
call it anything else. This
ET
came
is
up.
packing.
This came up in like the last video I watched of you guys, like the box art or something. You kept drawing attention to something like that.
For shame.
The NES does that. Very well
Okay,
enough on its own.
that was all
I guess
Teddy.
so.
I don't-
I guess so.
But my attention to it rubbed off on the other guys. They started to
Don't
notice
say
those
that.
things, too.
Don't say rubbed off.
Don't say don't never
Rubbed
say rubbed off the other guys.
Yeah. Unless you fucking mean
Rubbed on the other guys.
it.
Rubbed. Rub. In Shakespeare's words.
The
Well,
Shakespearean
welcome
sense.
to ET.
The ET
Oh, you get the
dungeon.
bunny dudes? What are they called? Pole's voice.
Yeah.
What? They're bunnies.
More cute, fluffy creatures that you have to kill. Thanks, Nintendo.
They're not that cute.
Are you the bad guy?
What are the mummies?
Oh, that's the
Gibdo?
twist.
Oh, here we go.
That's
Spencer has to do this every map out.
This this dungeon is where the plank, we're calling it, is probably the most useful.
Mhm.
Just opening up the maps a
Stepladder.
little bit.
Blue
Yes.
balls? Blue dark nuts?
But why would it be a step ladder? Why would you use a step ladder to cross a thing and not a plank? Like that doesn't make any sense.
That's Miyamoto. Maybe he used a stepladder one time to cross a
Or
lava-filled room.
I guess that
This-
makes sense.
this is just the consequence of it being a top-down view, is we never actually get to see Link use it vertically on a wall. Because you can use firefighters' ladders to go like horizontally across gaps and stuff. They use them on rooftops. So
Where does he keep it? His stepladder.
Up his ass.
Oh, you don't want to know. Yeah, so you don't want to know.
if you count
wanna know.
and consider like all of the potential orifices and everything, it's like, okay, stepladder goes there. Where's the boomerang go? What about the magic potion?
It's all
Yeah,
up
why
the ass.
doesn't Link have a Link never has a backpack in any of these fucking games.
Yeah, he doesn't
like
even have
the-
a satchel. In like
Yeah, the most concerning one is, I guess, Twilight Princess makes sense because he got like the Twilight Realm, whatever. But like that one's the most concerning because he has that like spinning top he can ride on, and I'm like, where is he keeping that guy?
Link doesn't start to have pouches, visible
Oh, no.
pouches, I don't think, until Breath of the Wild.
Hmm.
And even
Yeah.
then, he doesn't really have items. He has like the techniques with the tablet.
Yeah,
right?
true. They're stored like digitally on his
Yeah,
arm
yeah, yeah.
anyway, or
The
on
more
his
we
PDA.
talk about this game, the more I fucking hate it. This game's trash.
We've come a long way. I thought you liked an NES game for a second.
For a
Spencer
second,
at the
but-
beginning was like, "This game is fucking godlike." And at the end of the episode, he's gonna be like, "Fuck Zelda 1."
Zelda one's trash.
Dude. You can't see the stepladder up his ass.
Yeah, where does he carry
off
it?
for that.
Unrealistic. Oh, he doesn't speak. There's no
Yeah.
voice acting. Okay.
Dude,
I'm
I
out.
thought the overworld was great. Now I'm just having second thoughts.
Yeah. This game is full of shit.
First time seeing
Did not know.
Gibdos in this one.
Give those nuts. Okay.
Gib
Well,
D's.
what?
I got.
Rob?
Give these nuts.
Give those nuts. You're welcome.
Normally, I would argue and say they're mummies, but I like Gibdo. That's a good
Yeah,
name.
sounds
So
good.
it's fine.
Get the whistle
You
here,
get the whistle.
which is really looks like a
What's the
flute.
whistle
It's more of a flute, isn't it?
functions as
It's
a flute.
more of a flute.
It plays Zelda's Lullaby, right?
I don't know.
Is it
I played it on mute like I do all NES games, and it just made my
I thought
screen
you
freeze.
unmuted for important moments.
For important
Isn't that
moments like blowing that
moment?
flute. Oh,
Yeah.
All Spencer heard was the real housewives of New Jersey or something.
yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna pause that for this for some flute.
Mm. Fair enough.
You hear a different type of flute. The New Jersey ass flute.
The skin flute. Okay, moving on. We got a Dodongo's back. I like him, so he's cool.
Dodongo
Dodongo.
Wait.
killing the cute Triceratops again.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Dongo's dark nuts.
Dodongo's dark nuts.
I
And
love
then-
there's like a manga issue.
And then Dig Dogger is the boss.
Dig Dog?
Based on Dig Dug. Yeah, Atari. The Atari connections.
You play.
Oh
the-
yeah, this isn't Dodongo's reemergence. Yeah, this is that weird thing.
Well, Dodongo,
Well, no,
Dodongo is
Dodongo's
down
here.
there. There's a fight with
it's
3
like-
Dodongos.
It's like Manhandle last time. He just kind of showed
Well,
up.
that's pretty cool then that they take it's like here dungeon 2 or whatever. This is your dungeon boss, and then you get to just now it's you're
Yeah.
so strong that it's only a sub boss now.
The dungeon boss is Krakow from Kirby. I would never not call him Krakow.
Basically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
He looks like Krakow.
Oh, great. You gotta get him off it by blowing the whistle.
So I actually did this and the dungeon after slightly out of order, but I didn't finish them. If that
You
makes sense.
edgelord.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
I did.
Very cool.
Shut up. I did a. What did I do first? No. What was it? No, the lion. I did the lion first before any of these, and then.
Are you lying?
But I couldn't figure out how to beat the boss. And then when I read the thing, it said like, and also this boss is the easiest of the game. You just have to hit him with an arrow to the face. And I was really insulted because I was fighting him for like a long time and couldn't figure it out. So I actually could have beaten this way earlier.
You were using the candle. You were like, why can't I
Oh,
kill
lion
him?
is labyrinth 8.
Yeah. And it was super hard. It was incredibly hard because I didn't have the powered up sword either. So it was like everything, it took a long time to get through it. But then when I got back,
Longer rooms.
then when I got back, I just kind of walked through it, which was nice. But
Well, let's go in order. Labyrinth 6. The dragon. Dragon. Everybody
drag
want
on
the
these-
dinosaur. You already see a
drag on
dragon
these-
on the NES?
He's nuts. That's not a dragon. What the fuck is that?
I could see it like a sea dragon, like from Pokemon, the Horsea or something.
I can see a seahorse.
I could see the emblem of the swastika coming back.
Oh no, the swastika's returned.
Teddy's focusing on the negative space.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yep,
That's
yep.
it.
Typical Teddy.
I don't think, you know what? I think that this square ruins it, though. No, you
Guess what,
can't.
guys?
What?
The manji.
This is where I said.
This is where
fuck
he
it.
stopped the game.
Yeah, that's fine. You'd already played like what's up.
I had Thanksgiving dinner to eat and a family
Oh
to
my
visit and shit
God.
to do. And you know what? This dungeon was just too much stress. And okay, I've said it before with these podcasts. I've been like, I'm gonna go back and finish it. I finished Final Fantasy VII. You know, I finished the Pokemon Crystal. I'm not finishing this shit. Fuck it. I don't give a fuck. Come at me.
Terry?
Terry can say whatever he wants. Terry can eat my ass. I'm not
Oh my
beating this damn dungeon.
Harry, open invitation.
You're called out. Oh my God.
I don't think Terry will, though, because he doesn't care about this game. So he's going to be like, fuck it. Let Alex stop the game.
Yeah, he's going to be like, you shouldn't have played Dungeon 1.
I believe this also was Alex's pick, and he didn't finish it. That might be a first.
I wanted to play it, but I didn't.
But you wanted to, but what happened? Suddenly.
I wanted to. Look,
We'll get the full.
Hold on, stop. What are the map outs? The map outs are is our experience with the game, and this is my experience with the game.
Incomplete.
It doesn't devalue the episode.
Nowhere to go but up, honestly.
Not the first hour, 27 minutes, anyway.
Shame.
And I think we're introduced to the bane of my existence, Wizrobe.
Oh my God.
You guys really didn't like it, huh?
Oh, fuck Wizrobe.
The coding on it was too good. They
Oh,
were too
yeah.
good.
It's like I would walk into a room and immediately they would fucking gangbang me. And I was like, I've been here for a second.
Yeah.
It's like if I didn't memorize the fact that I had to go in this room and like I would save state right before I went into the room to die. I'm like, as soon as I get in there, I have to like move left, you know? Or it's
Yeah, here's
very
the
unfair.
problem, too. Right? Here's one room.
Oh, yeah.
Likes. Eat your magic shield, which you need to deflect these things. And look, there are 3 enemy types. And 4, you get the bubble. The bubble makes it impossible to even use your sword against these guys.
I
So
know
this
that
is
room
one
very
room,
well.
and then your reward. 3 blue
Okay.
Wizrobe.
That second one, the layout for that, is not conducive to fighting them. That's where Nintendo's just like, here, play stripped down Bomberman, have fun. Oh,
Yeah,
God.
and this is the issue I have with this game. I love the overworld. I love the first 5 dungeons. I think at this point they're just over reliant on just flooding you with too many enemies.
Mhm.
And
True.
it just becomes bullshit. Yeah, and I think that's my complaint with the first Zelda. I like it up until that point.
Yeah. And it's like a completely different test of skills too. If you have your fully charged sword for that second room Teddy pointed out, it's like, yeah, you could still have a good amount of fun with it. If you happen to be damaged at all and you have to fight those stupid whiz robes around those corners, melee or whatever from your inventory, it's just like, oh, well, now it's tedious. Now it's frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
It's way too important
Yeah.
having full health.
People are
Well,
gonna say
you can use the shield against those things in a smart way. Like you wait for the orange ones are the easiest to pick off because they don't move around. But those blue ones, oh boy. Like I'm guaranteed getting hit by one of them.
Wait, what are
at
you
least
doing with the
once, and
shield?
there goes. If you have the fully upgraded shield, it'll deflect the beams. So you wait for the beam to hit, and then you start swinging because there's a couple second gap in between the rays, and they all fire at the same time.
Okay. There's some
Spen-
mechanics in
Spencer
this
won't
game.
get this. I don't know if Justin will get this. Teddy, they remind me of those damn wizards in Tower of Jiraga. When you're playing that game, you know, the guys pop up and they shoot the things at you. They remind me of those things. Where it's just like,
Well,
fuck.
Spencer's favorite game is an Atari game, so I don't know.
That's true. That's true.
You may know it.
Hey, man, I like Tower of Jiraga.
Spencer, you've been contemplating here with these whiz robes.
Whiz robes.
Oh
Like
no,
with
I
the-
hate them.
yeah.
But
they suck.
their coding is just too strong because like
Mm.
they know they can find you, so they do know where you are and are actively hunting you. They will not teleport, but mist walk or whatever through walls to get you. Now they are vulnerable when they do that, and you can sort of trick them into doing that over and over and just hit them while they're going through them. But in rooms like this where they're just like there's like walls just kind of scattered, you're kind of fucked. And they can also just teleport in general, like not even through walls, but just through the game. And as soon as they're facing you, they'll hit you with their move. They're very quick. They don't have like a tell or anything. They just shoot it immediately. They're too strong.
Yeah.
They need to be like nerfed. A little bit.
Nerfed.
Yeah.
We need a
Sure.
patch.
Yeah.
Look, for anybody that's like, Alex, well, you like Zelda too? And I'm like, yeah. Okay, very different games for one. And that game is like way more based on combat anyway, and like combat in Zelda 2 actually like gives you progression of like your character in a sense. And this game didn't, other than like the Dark Nuts and stuff, it didn't really seem that focused on combat until this point.
Mhm.
And then it was just like every room just fucking blasted your ass. And I was like, oh,
I think
okay.
Nintendo recognized what they had with the Wiz Robe, though, because it became a mini boss up until Tears of the Kingdom, and then it went back to being a common enemy, not common, but an uncommon enemy on the field. It's like, yeah, you have a thing shooting beams at you with teleportation. Now, when it was a mini boss, for example, in like Ocarina of Time, it was a little bit too easy, but still,
Yeah.
it's interesting balancing throughout the series. Yeah.
Oh, and I guess the dragon
Brad.
is the one that I got to early. This is the one that I got to early, so I was mistaken.
So you fought
There he is.
Goma?
Yeah, Goma.
There he is in all his glory.
Old Gleok. Fact. Gleok's revenge.
Get out of here. Fuck you, Gleok. Okay. Moving on.
Which one is next,
All
boys?
right.
Since you're so good at
Hold
pointing
on,
out what
hold
these
on,
things are shaped
Hold on,
like.
hold on. You gotta fight
The
Goma.
magic wand, right?
Yeah, we got.
I got it backwards. I thought you fought Gleok. Spencer, what's up with the magic wand?
It's worthless until the very, very end of the game. I think complete garbage. I don't know why they added it. I was confused.
It's one.
It shoots fire, right? Is it weaker in this point?
When I first got it, it just shot like a magic looking
A beam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
this is your beam sword attack. Just on a weapon, so you don't have to be full health.
Yeah. Which is
Yeah, but-
nice. That is nice.
But it's weaker than your sword.
Which is not nice.
So it's like I don't know. I just thought it was pointless. I didn't like
Look,
it.
I will excuse its existence just because it's like one of the coolest items, like weapons in Hyrule Warriors. So I'm gonna say they planted this, and then 30 years later or whatever, Koei Tecmo was like, "Yeah, we'll use it in our game."
Yeah.
Yeah, all out.
Yeah, and then
Traditional Zelda.
Goma was the boss
Hey.
where you beat him with the the bow and arrow to the face, which I didn't.
Oh
was-
my
what-
god! I got here with no arrows because I had not bought them at any point in the game, and so I was
Can't
like,
you use
"Are you
rupees?
kidding me?"
Not
You
until
use
you buy
rupees,
not
right?
until you buy the arrows.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I ran into the same thing where I didn't have it. You can't even select the bow until you buy arrows, which
Weird.
was it's a weird.
Maybe I did buy arrows early on then, because I remember being able to use the rupees, like the whole game. So maybe I did buy arrows. Whoops, I lied earlier.
Alex the liar.
I'm the
Man.
liar. Spencer, what was that thing you told us about Go Mad? Now I'm just thinking of Go Ma.
Go mad.
Yeah,
Do you know-
you were telling us about Go Mad.
Yeah,
No, I'm thinking about Go Ma.
gallon of milk a day.
Yeah, Go
Oh,
Mad.
That's
Go
how
Ma.
you get shredded, dude.
Oh God, no.
You drink a gallon of milk a day, you're guaranteed to get jacked. Try it.
Goma might be doing too much of that. Well, you might go mad trying to find the next labyrinth because you have to use. I forget what it is. You like. the
Oh
whistle and
God,
use it.
this is proof that you say this would take you 60 hours, Justin. This would never be beaten by
Yeah.
me. This
Yeah.
this makes zero sense. I just would
Yeah.
never have thought to do
Yeah.
this.
This is where I think like later releases on like the virtual console, if they want you to play their game, they really have to include something for it, you know, because it's like who would guess this shit?
Yeah, my reliance on the guide definitely kicked in well before this point. So I'm with you, Spencer. Probably like around three or four is when I started to use it or
Yeah.
need it. I was using it early.
Guys, if you had to plot a demon on a 6x7 grid, what would it look like?
Not that. That's all I know.
It would look
You
it would
haven't
look
seen
like
it.
it would look like a monster
Yeah.
with horns. It would have like horns.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
It's Mario's castle.
There you go. Yep. I guess if you turn it to the side, you can kind of see it, but yeah, I don't
Ooh.
see a demon.
Wait. Can you turn it upside down? Because then it looks like a dude with a long nose. Yeah, see? Got like a long nose going on there. He's like,
Yamoto. Oh, we lost Justin.
Justin was lost.
It
He was taken by the
Where he
demon.
stopped the game.
The demon took Justin. I don't know where he went. You want to
So-
keep going?
so this one, well, this one was interesting because you have to give up your bait when you get,
You need bait. Yeah. Meat.
but you have to like
Yeah,
you have it, but then you have to give it up in the middle of the dungeon.
Yeah. You have to buy bait. Like, honestly, and then the guide thing, right? Like, there's so much you would never know. I do like later, like, if I'm going to do Justin's bit here, that, like, when they bring it back for Oracle Seasons, you know, and you have to give the Toki creature bait, like, that's a throwback to this. Although, in this one, the execution's weird. It's like, you just have the bait. He goes, grumble, grumble. I guess that's a hint. that he's
Spencer,
hungry.
are you a bait master?
Absolutely. No one's
So
no one's
you would call
mastered it
so
the way I have.
So you would call it master bait?
Yeah. Boy, you are on fire, dude.
I'm a child.
Yeah, I can't
child.
bel-
I'm sorry.
You're on top of your game. If you want to see Alex like never been better,
If you want to
This
see
is
me
it.
live, if you want to see my live comedy stand up,
yeah.
actually
www.nevergonnahappen.com.
It's actually pronounced Master
buy your
Bite. Thank
tickets.
you.
Meister Bite.
Meisterbite.
Meister Bite.
That sounds like I'm from Wisconsin.
You missed a good zinger from Alex. I can't even.
I didn't miss it.
Oh, you heard
Oh,
it.
you've been here the whole time. He heard
been-
everything.
he's
you
been
said.
lurking.
Yeah, it was.
We've been
that was a
had,
good one.
boys.
It was
It was a really
really,
good
it was really funny. I couldn't believe it.
It was. Thank you. You know, sometimes I'm not appreciated the way I need to be for my comedy, and I'm glad you guys
Got
are
it.
doing that today. Thank
Got
you.
a titter out of me.
Yeah, Titter.
This is why we bring on the guest, you know, because Alex doesn't get appreciated enough. So
Yeah.
Sir,
I do
you.
like your
Thank you for your
content, Alex. I liked your Lemmings game and the other things that you've shown. Yeah.
you don't even know what it was called. You don't even remember what it was called.
That's okay. Humans. I don't know. Someone was calling it, like, emphasizing the humans part of it, and then someone else was
No,
emphasizing
Spencer.
the dino part of it.
Yeah, because I played Evolution Dino Dudes, just so we're all on the same page. I didn't play the humans.
Dumb game. Anyway, so like this one had the same boss that it had like on the first dungeon, right? Just the dragon.
Raw.
Yeah, Aquaman,
Aquaman.
Oh,
Jason
I thought I had it
Momoa.
right here.
Jason Momoa.
Aquamentus, yeah.
Dude.
Okay, this one, an interesting thing. It had a room where you could buy a bomb upgrade. I did not have 100 rupees, so I did not get the bomb upgrade.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks to suck.
Well, at
Alex-
least you're not like me, Teddy, because when you see that you have the upgrade there and you don't have the rupees, you leave the dungeon and you grind them and you come back because you can't leave without it.
Yeah, I don't got what he's got. Although I
Oh
did,
my god.
I did have the rupees for this one, but I didn't do the. Apparently, there was one earlier. I didn't do that one. Alex, what was your experience in this dungeon? Can you elaborate what your?
Yeah. So I had a plate. I had turkey, stuffing, sweet potatoes, some egg noodles, pretty good. Some cranberry sauce, a deviled egg, a roll. Oh man, it was good. That was my experience.
How
at
did
this
you
time.
feel about the red
I put
candle?
the game down and I ate my dinner.
Yeah, how'd you feel
We
about-
didn't have any candles around the Thanksgiving table.
Well, that's unfortunate because the red candle is an upgrade to the blue candle. It allows you to spew out flames infinitely. I forgot to mention this. The blue candle, being able to use it once per screen was such a jit.
Oh yeah, because it's like it's pretty good, but just once. It's yeah.
Yeah,
That's it. That's it.
It's,
That's all we need.
it's just like once.
Yeah.
Just once, man.
It's like not like
Yeah.
twice. Three.
Yeah, it's like
I know,
just
we're like
one time.
5.
Yeah.
Imagine. Imagine playing Evolution Dino Dudes.
Three even.
Yeah, you could. I've seen
Yeah.
upwards of 4 or 5 uses in one room.
Amazing.
Wow.
So, did you like Aquamentus again? No, it was too easy. Great. Labyrinth 8, the lion.
The lion. Rawr.
The lion, the witch, and the elf kid.
Guys, if you were to plot a lion on a 6x7 grid, what would it look like?
This.
That's a damn Christmas tree.
Let's see this. Let's see this.
That's as lion as it gets. I won't have any other
It's
way.
a sailboat. Oh no.
I
no,
love-
look, you see, it's like the mouth at the bottom, and then the mane is the hair in the back. That's a lion.
Mm-hmm. I see what
Oh,
they're
I
trying
love-
to do. Yeah.
I love the idea that like they're designing the game and Miyamoto's coming around and it's like, hey, how's dungeon? What is this 8? How's dungeon 8 going? Coming along. It's like, oh, it's pretty good. Here's the layout, and he's like, ooh, lion.
Lion.
Like, what?
Now everybody, what you just heard there was Alex's racist impression of an Asian.
That was not
person.
racist. That's what he sounds like.
If you listen closely, you'll hear it, and it's not condoned by the button mappers.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Here,
Racist.
rewind. Spencer, edit this in. Oh, a lion. There we go. That was my racist Miyamoto right there.
That's better. See, we don't have to assume that he would sound like that. It's just,
The problem is actually
Hurtful.
the comment about his intelligence.
That was amazing.
why Asian people are super smart.
Yeah, so to be like, oh, he's a lion.
Oh no, I didn't
Even that,
mean
Spencer.
stupid.
That's a
I didn't mean-
microaggression. Not all Asian people are master geniuses.
Oh, I thought they were.
You know?
Whenever I said stupid Miyamoto shit,
played
I
Fall
mean
Guys.
Miyamoto puts dumbass shit in his games. That's
Okay.
like, carrots. What if the carrots were like Pikmin or something? I don't know.
And let me guess, Alex. Let me guess, Alex.
Shut up.
He was a samurai too, huh? Is
Maybe.
that what you're saying?
Oh, or like in Star Fox, it's like, oh, it's the gates thing. It's the gardens. It's like, just, Miyamoto, shut up. Make a game.
Just make your game and shut up.
See, it all
Man.
started when I visited New York and went to the Bronx Zoo. I saw this lion. I thought, wow, that's a great idea for Labyrinth 8.
Lion.
I tried to pet the lion. He went roar. I was like, oh, grubble, grubble. Put that in the game.
Interesting. I got this.
If you guys are going for that Nintendo fan base, I don't think it's working.
We're trying to.
Oh no,
capture that market.
we got him by the dark nuts.
Yeah.
We're getting the dark side
Good.
of the Nintendo.
Oh yeah,
franchise.
this was a jarring dungeon visually. Did anyone else just feel like, whoa, draining the color makes it look terrible?
Yeah,
Like
kinda.
you
I didn't.
Yeah.
But I could see it.
it didn't fit in with the others. I thought they could have just do another color, but don't make it grayscale.
Yeah, I can
Too
see
white.
that. Yeah.
Too white. Oh no.
I
Lot
think
of
I
little
said
bosses.
grayscale.
A lot of little bosses here. With the you know the
Handler.
clearly that dragon is the best thing they had going for this game, like boss wise. So
Yeah.
Hmm.
Gliok.
Use it again.
no, not well.
I mean,
It is Gliok.
Oh, it is
his,
clear.
his,
Okay, yeah.
his sprite is probably it's probably the most impressive one.
It's the most fun to fight
Yeah.
too because there's actual
Yeah.
mechanics, whereas other ones are like they die in a hit.
This dungeon is really unremarkable. It's just it feels like
Yeah.
more of the same at this point.
It feels like it's supposed to be the hardest one. Yeah, like I don't know. That's what the grayscale thing does to me again. It's like anytime you have a game where the color has been drained from an area, it's because the corruption's taken over. The evil has drained it, right? I was expecting just to get knocked out with this dungeon, but
I hesitate to
Maybe.
ask what Alex the Racist's opinion is of this, but I guess I have to. Alex, what did you think of this dungeon?
So at this point, we were cutting into the pumpkin pie. So
love that.
I had some pumpkin pie with some, with some whipped cream on top. Oh man,
Those are
fucking
good.
honestly,
Oh,
The
shit.
Legend of Thanksgiving sounds like a way better series.
Would you? Okay. Stay with me. Would you rather fight through the lion dungeon or have a nice piece of pumpkin pie? Be honest.
I'll take the pie.
Mhm.
Exactly.
But see, the rest of us sacrificed that.
Coming soon, a map out of pumpkin pie. What is the legend of the 8 slices? Starting with
Watch
slice
me-
number 1.
Watch me eat an entire pumpkin pie.
Yeah, we'll just sit here and spectate and commentate. It'll be amazing.
Oh yeah.
He's
Oh
going
yeah.
for his
Piece number
first
3.
slice. This one he's trying whipped cream. Amazing.
Hey, somebody's punishment for an episode for one of your bets should be having to eat an entire pie in the duration of
That's
the
not a-
filming.
That's not a punishment. That's a
No.
that's
Okay.
a prize.
No, never mind.
High surprise.
It's the pies. Okay.
Well, that was the
Um,
lion. We're going to face death in Death Mountain. I got halfway
Yeah,
through
no.
this, so I did not finish Death Mountain. But I am intending to finish.
Terry, get him.
Terry, have at it.
Wait,
Come on.
does Terry not like people who don't finish their games?
He's a troll.
I'll ask him. I'll ask him later.
Well, here's kind of why.
That looks cool. That looks like it's gonna
Yeah,
be
that
interesting.
looks like a skull. That looks like a skull. Yeah.
'Cause- okay, but look, you come in here, you have to go here, here, here. Like I saw this, my mind was blown, so I didn't think it was possible. I'm like
It is-
2/3 through the skull, but
It is cool to see this
I
is
will
the
beat it
first
later.
appearance of Death Mountain. For some reason, I thought Zelda 2 was the first Death Mountain because you do go to one in there. With
I'll tell you what, Terry, you're not going to have to do anything because I'm going to upload a screenshot to the Discord by the time this airs of my credits.
Terry, have at it in the comments. You've got 2 victims, and God, Justin, don't you dare tell me you didn't finish this, or I'll have Terry come after you too.
No, I beat the game. Don't worry.
Just saved yourself the wrath of Terry.
Mm.
The Wrath of
wouldn't-
Terry.
Wouldn't want him to.
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Don't want him confiscating my licenses, telling me that all of a sudden I need licenses for things.
Legend of Leo is bullshit.
You have a new enemy here, the Landmola, which looks like I just want to call him linoleum. So I'm gonna call him linoleum.
Well, you'd be wrong. Yeah, that's not what it is. That's not it.
I often am, Spencer. I'm used to it.
You also get a Patra.
Yes. That's a cool enemy. It's the the things around it, like the flies around it, spin. But later versions of it, they spin in like a weird way that isn't just a circle. It's like a wavy. It's really cool.
Mhm.
It's pretty impressive.
This enemy makes me like I was already thinking earlier when we were talking about the Wizrobe rooms, how it's like, well, yeah, I don't know, something about Binding of Isaac, and now this enemy and remembering this is like, man, Binding of Isaac just. I don't know if you guys have played that game, but this is exactly like some of those sludge enemies, or I think they're poop, and they just have the flies circling them.
I love that game. Binding of Isaac is Zelda 1 dungeons, but fun and with more vaginas that shoot lasers.
Sure.
Because that's an enemy.
No, it's crazy. If you just do like a cosmetic swap, so much of this game is actually present in modern, what'd you call Binding of Isaac? Like a dungeon crawling, roguelike.
It's like a roguelike dungeon crawler,
yeah. So Spencer, I think earlier, was the one who said that this game is so inspirational in other ways, and there's another one for the roguelike genre.
This dungeon is long and freaking, it's a mess. It just goes all over the place.
That's what she said.
Was it actually a mess though, or at this point was it just like, well, it looks like I have to use my guide for 5 minutes longer? Because at this point, I don't think I was even trying to intuit anything on my own. Maybe I was, but
no, it was.
I'm using my guide, and I still can't find the right room to go to. Like, I have to find the room with the Patra that's floating around to be able to go down the next set of stairs. I'm at the third set of stairs, like basement area, to get to warp to another part of the skull. I've mapped out a bunch of the area. I have like the bottom corner and like a lot of the top part. It's just confusing. I don't know. I like some of the items. I like the armor you get. Like, reduces damage by half. Very useful. Could have used that halfway through the game.
I didn't get that.
So nobody tried doing this without a guide. Not even attempted it.
Oh, I
didn't even try doing it.
I did.
Using I try every dungeon without using a guide. Until I use it.
At that point, yeah. That's where I was at too.
Spencer, like, did you feel like until you needed the guide, this felt like a different style of dungeon? Because what I'm getting at is, I wonder if, because here it is, all of a sudden in one big mass, you have a convoluted dungeon with more backtracking than before, and I just wonder if this is a good idea. You should have just taken parts of it and incrementally build up to it with dungeons 5, 6, 7, or something like that, right? Like.
No, this is how they
feel different.
It did feel different, but it felt like Ultimate. Like, that's how they used to do it back in the NES days. Is like in Dragon Quest 2, like the last dungeon or the last like areas. They're all of them just, they feel huge and they're unnecessarily complicated. That's just kind of how they did them back then, and that's all they really could do. I think because they didn't really know how to make them actually interesting. So it's
just unfair though. It's so brutal.
It's brutal.
Like you would have to be prepped up. You know, full upgrades on everything, potion on deck. It's just, I don't know. It's not very welcoming, especially compared to all the previous dungeons. It's like having 3 dungeon 6s packed together.
Like somehow like layered
no restore point.
Like 3 dungeons. Like
if I have to start from the beginning of that, forget it. If I game over,
yeah.
Well, do you guys also
rested my game over theme music that you didn't listen to?
Do you guys also have this issue where if a game has been feeding you like the same kind of content for, let's just say, like 20 hours, and then all of a sudden they want to give you something different for the last portion, your patience is worn thin by that point, so you can't even enjoy it? Because that was a little bit of what was going on over here. Like, at this point, I didn't even want to put my guide away when I saw what it was looking like. It was just like, I just want to beat the game now. Like, sorry, but you shouldn't have dragged this out for so long.
And I get that they wanted to make this like the ultimate challenge of it, but it is like 3 steps ahead of the other dungeons in terms of complications, and it's, I don't know, it's a lot. It's asking quite a bit.
Alex, at this point, I was wondering, like, what's the final dungeon of your table?
I had eaten my Thanksgiving dinner. I had eaten the turkey, and I think I had gone back for some more sweet potatoes because I really love sweet potatoes. And I think at this point I was just kind of comatose on the couch. Uh,
Alex is
I was,
flat
Final
out.
boss.
yeah, I was just like, it's just like I couldn't even turn on my 2DS.
Last part is getting to the sofa, getting to lie down.
I did find out I was playing because I was playing this for a little bit, and then the just kicked my ass. But I wasn't home for like 3 days, so I started playing other games on my 2DS, and I was playing some Shovel Knight, and I did find out that leaving my 2DS on the standby mode, it can go for 3 days before it dies.
Wow.
I was like, well, yeah. I was like, damn, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good battery. So there we go.
So Justin, let's talk Ganon. What the fuck kind of boss fight was that?
I'm gonna
Uh,
excuse myself.
Yeah,
They're fine, guys.
this was if the final dungeon was a step up in difficulty, then okay, this was a step up in difficulty for bosses, for enemies. Because yeah, this was probably all of my deaths or most of my deaths in the game.
no,
Not for you.
it was horrible. This was
Oh
like,
yeah.
like this was Ganondorf or Ganon, whatever he is.
He's Ganon.
He's Ganon in this? Okay.
The pig is Ganon. The human guy is Ganondorf.
Gotcha. He's like disappeared for the entire
Yeah.
fight. He's
Yeah.
invisible. And
Yeah.
so you just have to like stand in a corner and slash and hope that you hit him. And when you hit him like 3 times or something, he becomes like numb and you can shoot him with a silver arrow and you win. It's
Yeah.
I'm playing this like for real. I don't even understand how you would do that.
The item swap for one thing, but yeah. I don't know. It's like at this point you feel like the ideas that they had that they didn't want to let go of because they didn't know what Zelda 2 would be or something like that. They just poured them all in. Because maybe with a little bit of instruction, it's not a bad boss fight, but boy, oh boy, did it catch you off guard. And honestly, I didn't know, like you mentioned standing in the corner, I didn't know that. Probably one of the reasons why I died so much is because I always try to use kind of the whole bottom screen, or always try to use like a length of the room. That wasn't working out at all.
Yeah, I just stood in the corner and just started slashing and trying to dodge the balls that were flying at me.
Mm-hmm.
Which is my prison story, by the way. But yeah, I would just slash in the corner and hope I hit it, and then eventually I did, and then thank you. And then yeah, it just went numb. But it was literally like a game of rewind. Like I would die, I probably died like 20, 30 times. Could you imagine
yeah.
like actually playing this game and like having to navigate the entire dungeon again just to get to that?
Oh Lord! Oh Jesus! Just you guys talking about it's stressing me out.
Well, I guess this is
yeah.
the final payoff. So if that's what you got to do, then it's going to be satisfying when you beat it. But yeah, yeah.
Are you guys?
Boy, without emulator tools, good luck.
Are you guys Team Ganon or Ganondorf?
Both, like you explained, they're different.
Yeah, I don't know. We have to pick
Yeah,
one.
but which one do you like? Which one? Yeah. Like which one do you like?
Like in
Pig
what way?
Ganon or like human
Think
Ganon?
it's cooler or what?
Yeah. Like
Oh, I
which
guess because
version?
they don't both appear in every iteration of the. Of the
Yeah,
game.
there's like one or the other, or like now there was like Calamity Ganon and Breath of the Wild.
Yeah,
Still, if you pick between
Ocarina
pig
had
or
both.
human, which one do you like?
Ocarina had both done well.
Well, yeah, but not. It's like he turns into Pig Ganon. Yeah, sure. But
So it had both. What the?
Well, no, I get
But
it.
which
Like
one
if
do-
you could
which-
only
which one do you
if you could only
prefer?
see one, right? If you could only see
Yeah.
one, the pig is definitely more intimidating and imposing. But like for the majority of Ocarina of Time, the way that they wrote Ganondorf was more interesting. He's the king of the Gerudo. He's manipulating the king and getting an audience, and don't trust him. Which they completely reuse in Tears of the Kingdom, by the way. The whole storyline is just reused.
Yeah.
Ocarina of Time, but whatever.
I don't know. I guess I like Ganon. He feels more of a final villain to me.
Mm.
But they're both
Yeah, he's
cool.
more-
They're both cool.
usually when there's Ganon, it's like people are trying to summon Ganon. When there's Ganondorf, he's just there being an asshole the entire game. so yeah, I don't know. I'd probably go Ganondorf. I like Ganondorf. Sorry, Teddy. We're going Ganondorf versus Ganon now.
Oh, Ganondorf. You know, it's a funnier name.
That's a good
That's
criteria.
True. That's true. Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah, I called him Ganondorf when
And
I was
with
a
that,
kid. I
you
admit
get to
it.
fuck the princess, and the game's over.
Yeah, and then you have sex.
How do
with
you
her,
know?
yeah.
You didn't beat it.
It's true. Did you look up a guide?
You got to
Did
go
look up-
through loop 2 for that
spoilers?
ending.
Maybe the whole point is you slay Ganon, and then you have this corpse on the ground, and then when Link kisses it, it turns into Prince Ganondorf.
Oh,
Oh, it's a homosexual game.
Very inclusive.
very
Oh, it's
progressive.
a what do you call that? When you a necrophiliac sexual game.
Very inclusive, like I said.
You just necrophiliacs.
Yeah.
Got to appeal to a wide audience here.
Pig necrophiliacs.
Oh,
Pig
bestiality.
Yeah, bestiality, necrophilia,
Male pig.
homosexuality. I mean, they're hitting them all.
Yeah, gay pigs. Gay men.
Gay dead
Yeah.
pigs.
Gay dead
Gay-
pigs.
Gay Dead Pigs is definitely the name of my punk band. The
Yeah.
Gay Dead Pigs.
died trying or
Cool.
died frying?
That was Zelda. I did want to. Something dawned on me earlier, Justin, and I don't know if this is for the same for you, because you didn't. Did you play this before or after Hyrule Warriors for the first time?
Before.
I played it after. I think it's some weird way. I have to thank Koei Tecmo for my understanding of the original Zelda, because they used that like Zelda challenge map in Hyrule Warriors, and it's like it's just the first game's map, but you have to use items to like unlock certain things, and you have to use them in the correct locations you would Zelda 1. So I think without playing Hyrule Warriors, my understanding of Zelda 1 would be to a lesser degree, because I wouldn't understand what the items did.
Yeah.
That's weird. That
I was
dawned on me
also
earlier.
thinking
I was like,
about that map too, and I wasn't sure if we would get to like talking about other games of the series, but yeah, the way Hyrule Warriors presents its challenge mode is there are different maps or different challenge themes for each of the Zelda games. And so Zelda 1 is this entire map blown up on the whole screen, and what you do is you fight a battle on one, and it unlocks an adjacent map, but sometimes to be able to actually do the battle on the adjacent map, it'll incorporate something like, oh, you have to use the candles that you light the bush. And now when you do the map, you might get a cosmetic. It's just like a really interesting stylized way of presenting something like a strategy RPG map is a way you can think of it. It's like, imagine if you're playing like a tactics game, and then when you go to the next map, you have to use the items from Zelda 1, because they're just part of the built-in aesthetic. So.
Yeah, when that game first came out, the only challenge map they had was the Zelda 1 map, and like I said, I think
okay,
yeah, because the other ones came out with like the DLC, then of course the Switch
with
one
the
has
Switch
everything.
version, yeah.
But yeah, it's weird that like I think Hyrule Warriors taught me more about Zelda 1 than any guide.
Probably, yeah, because it is accurate to the game.
Spencer, I got this weird epiphany. You know, it really dawned on me playing Dragon Quest Heroes. That Bird Studio taught me so much about the Dragon Quest series. Oh, we lost Alex off of that. I didn't think it was that offensive. Shit.
Yeah, I'll reinforce his point though, because anyone who is a fan of the Zelda series as a whole should at least experience some of Heroes, just to see like all the references done well.
Dragon Quest Heroes. I agree.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not safe. I have to go.
Yeah.
It's getting more sweet potato, I think.
Yeah, I think he's eating. Well, we're kind of at time, aren't we?
Yep.
On this one.
Yep.
So it's an absolute pleasure to have you, Justin.
Guys, I love rambling with you. You're my favorite people to talk nothing about.
Wow.
I don't know how to take that.
Well,
you're welcome.
No, you know what? Zelda 1's a funny game. That's yeah, it's a funny game.
Can't wait to have you for Pokuary 2025.
Yeah,
I'll be ready.
Or
Digiuary 2024.
Yeah,
I could have you on that.
Justin's first Digimon game. Is it your first? Have you played a Digimon?
Yeah, the one on the DS was really good.
Hell yeah. See, he's
Oh,
off
Basically-
rip.
Pokemon
Hell
clone,
yeah.
but yeah.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Digimon
Fuck
brother.
But anyway, thanks so much for joining. We appreciate it. Hopefully you had a good
Hey,
time.
you guys don't have any final thoughts about Zelda 1 in the world and dungeons? What an unceremonious way to end on this classic
Oh.
game, huh?
Okay, you want to give it? Final thoughts on Zelda 1.
I guess a couple people
I
dropped out.
I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't play it.
Okay.
Spencer, at the end of the day, for you, was it worth getting to the end of the game? Was it worth
Absolutely,
going through?
it was worth it. It was worth it because it's more of a historical experience. I would never choose to play this game on its own, but it's just far too cryptic. But it's interesting to see a different time, like when they were trying to build this, and I really admired just the steering away from the tradition and making something that's more of a. I think this might be like the first console experience that maybe it's ever. I'm sure there's been like other versions that have tried this, but this is the Nintendo one. So I was just blown away by them making a true full blown console game that doesn't play like Mario or something. I was impressed.
Mm-hmm. Teddy, do you remember some of your comments when we were talking about Zelda? And I think you were more on the side of Tears of the Kingdom missing some of the feeling of the traditional Zeldas, right? When it comes to like the dungeons and stuff.
I was more inquisitive about Tears of the Kingdom. I could speak to Breath of the Wild.
Oh, sorry. Breath of the Wild is the one I meant to say. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did this game do anything for you then? Where it was like at least two parts to it? Because you also mentioned we were kind of talking about people who say like, oh yeah, Breath of the Wild is kind of the return to Zelda 1. Like this is the original idea fleshed out properly. Did you see that here? Or I guess do you see the connection that people make nowadays?
Do I understand why they make that connection? Sure. But I don't know. I align more with Brian in that perspective. The overworld is still not that massive. You know, you could explore every part of it pretty quickly. Did it do anything for me? Did it rub me off?
Oh.
No, I didn't really feel. Wow, we did. I guess just me having a.
Alex doesn't like that.
Alex is allergic to my to my inputs here.
Sorry, I don't know what's going on, guys. I just keep going.
Well, let's see.
I don't know.
Underwhelming or a good playthrough for you?
Overwhelming, maybe. I don't know.
Overwhelming.
Because I think, you know what, if I didn't do this podcast weekly and have other games that I'm playing and you know and also like a full-time career and like other things going on, would I be down to just get lost in the world of Zelda 1? Absolutely. But also not when there's other freaking, you know, more advanced games at the time. Like I will never not compare this to Ocarina of Time. I will always compare it to it. You know, because you know, it was just there. I was accessible. Would I rather spend my time like my 10 hours getting into Ocarina of Time and replaying it? I've replayed it so many times, and I would do it again in a heartbeat. Overplay this, you know, and this it's kind of devastating. It's heartbreaking. Like Spencer said, I probably wouldn't do it if it weren't for an episode.
Yeah, that's fine.
But I'll finish it. I'll play it to the end. I'm basically there.
I had the funniest juxtaposition. I was playing this in our game for Wario Month, which is next month, by the way, Justin. Wario Month, and playing Zelda 1, which is this huge open world experience on the NES, first time ever done, juxtaposed with me playing fucking Wario, was the funniest goddamn experience I've ever had. Because they'd be like, I'd play through a dungeon and I'd be like, oh great, I got the candle, I know what I can do with this, and I go hop over to Wario, and he's like throwing some fucking crows and some pirates and stuff, and I'm like, this game's awesome. So yeah, would I rather play this or our Wario map out game? Wario
Alex,
all the way.
you're Mr. Retro, I guess, in this group of players anyways. Was this more of a chore than some of the other older games you play from around the same era?
Yes and no. Okay, so this is the first mass market open world really experience, but there's games way older and way more cryptic that did the same ideas. Like I think of like Adventure, the Sword Quest games on Atari. I think of like some early PC games sort of had this feel too. But this is the first one that had that mass market appeal. Yes, it is a chore in the sense of figuring out where to go at today's standards, but I imagine that I would have appreciated it a lot more if I was in the if I was in that mindset to where all I played was Mario and Centipede, and coming over to this game that feels big and alive, I might have appreciated it a lot more. But today it does kind of feel a little bit like a chore because I do have to go out of my way to find that extra material and figure out where to go and understand what the hell is even happening in the game.
This is where you can see Alex's
sense.
bias, because if this was a Sega game, he would have said it was the best thing that's ever been released.
That's not true. That's not
He would
true.
have said, "What? It's a 10 out of 10." And if you think otherwise, because he calls me this
You
all the
don't
time.
listen. No,
Says you're an
no.
idiot.
You don't listen to Turbo Throwdown because I'm quick.
You know what he
I'm
would
quick
say?
to shit on some
He would
Sega
say,
games.
"Zelda's a little cryptic, but it's part of the charm. It's just a charming game."
I mean, honestly, that is true. It is part of the charm for this game. Is just how cryptic it is. You know, I feel like somebody like if we had Brian on this episode, he'd been like, "I got through that last dungeon, super easy." Of course, he's been playing it since 1986, since he was 25. So
Yeah.
you know, so
I'm referring to his playthrough to help me finish the game.
yeah. It's like I imagine for a lot of people that had that experience back in the day, it's fun to revisit this game because of the charm that is how cryptic it is, and the fact that you know it. It feels like you're part of a secret club. You know.
Mhm.
It's like-
I do think playing it a second time might make me feel better about it.
I appreciated it up until Dungeon 6. I think the dungeons are what kills it for me. I think if the dungeons were designed better for the last few dungeons, I would feel the desire to finish the game. I appreciate all of the elements of the game, but I feel like as soon as they start just fucking raping you in the ass with like all the enemies in the rooms, I feel like that's the point where I'm like, okay, no.
Oh, I am playing like the absolute scum of the earth, the way I'm save scumming through this. And I don't like, to me, it's fine because I just want to see it through. But I would play less scummy next time. For the first playthrough, though, it's gonna suck. Like that's just how I feel.
You know what? It's a pretty solid game. Like, yeah, I played it because it's a Zelda game, and if it didn't have the Zelda title, I would have never touched it. It's just one of those forgettable games that you don't have to waste your time on. But I kept on playing it because it was enjoyable. If this game, though, Teddy, you mentioned playing it for a second time, a really good chunk of the game and where you could probably stop is up to getting the raft and then doing as much exploration as you can, and then you could probably put it down. Because I feel like that's the best part. The raft is basically the last item you get that lets you explore everything, right? So by then you would have bombs, flame, the stepladder, and the raft. It's like, there you go. You can explore the world, go have some fun with the game, and then that's it.
I feel like the game's flawed, but still greatly appreciated among the fan base. There's like certain pillars of the Zelda fan base. I think there's three ones maybe. There's the Link to the Past people, there's the Ocarina people, there's the new people with Breath of the Wild. I feel like there's never been Zelda 1 people. It's just people kind of just appreciate it for what it did and like growing into this expansive franchise. Of course, I'd rather play Link to the Past over this game any day of the week, but yeah,
Controversial
Brian's
opinion.
in the corner.
Well, Brian, yeah, but he only likes
that's
NES
Brian.
games.
I can think of one more person whose favorite game is Zelda 1. And it's mostly because of their childhood memories.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't beat nostalgia.
No, and that's
There are the
fine, too.
Twilight Princess people too.
If you're a Twilight Princess person, you listen to My Chemical Romance and you shop at Hot Topic. Do not come at me.
I was going to go
What
Fred
do you-
Durst, but...
What do the Skyward Sword fans listen to?
Imagine
Skyward
Dragons.
Sword, that was what was that like? Yeah, because like what was it, like 2011 or some shit? So yeah, Imagine Dragons, or like or those like those like of them like those bands that were like rock bands around that time, but they were like not rock, like
Poppy
Arcade
kind of
Fire. I think is one. I heard. Yeah, it's like
indie.
those kind of people. It's like the indie rock people around that time.
Nicki Minaj, maybe.
Nicki Minaj.
Nah,
Indie rock star Nicki
which
Pretty
Minaj.
bold.
okay,
Skyward Sword and Nicki Minaj.
No. Which Zelda game do I think couples well with Nicki Minaj? I think that's like if you're playing Zelda and you listen to Nicki Minaj, go on like Spirit Tracks. That's your favorite Zelda.
Nice.
I like the
Ocarina,
trains.
Ocarina of Time's the rap and hip hop game.
Is
You
it really?
think so?
Okay, you know what you guys actually have to listen to? Ocarina of Rhyme. Somebody took like 90s, 2000, actually I don't think any 90s, but like 2000s rap, and they perfectly laid it over Ocarina of Time tracks. And it's actually a good CD.
That's awesome.
Ocarina of Rhyme. And there's like
yeah.
a couple good ones, like the beat using Kepora Gebora, the Owls theme, really good.
I could hear it. Boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
Oh,
exactly. Just add like a snare every once in a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
I'll link it later. It's good.
Did Spencer
I do
glitch out
think-
for anybody else?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Spencer, you were like half
Glitch for
static for
Spencer.
some reason. Now you're fine.
I was just listening to Alex.
the
Matrix What's the got you. most-
podcast?
What's the most metal Zelda?
Ooh.
It has to be Twilight Princess.
Majora, maybe?
Twilight Princess.
Twilight
yeah.
Princess is the one
Nah,
that,
Twilight Princess is a poser. Twilight Princess is a poser.
Right.
Twilight Princess
but that's what I mean. Is it's
was-
trying so hard.
They was looking at no. It's looking at Majora, which is metal, and saying
Oh,
I could
Majora.
do that
Yeah.
too.
so
Okay.
Twilight Princess.
True.
So
Emo metal.
Majora's like old Metallica. Twilight
Yeah.
Princess is like Five Finger Death Punch.
Yeah. Majora is like the moon's gonna crash into the earth and we're all gonna fucking die. No. And then like Twilight Princess is like, I'm a wolf and there's like an evil dark realm and there's a guy named Zant that just nobody gives a shit about.
Zant is the worst antagonist in any of the games. Just, I felt nothing for him.
Bad name too. An ant. Zant.
Zant.
I will say, Skyward Sword is probably the most new metal.
Yeah. Maybe. Girahim, I think, looks pretty new metal. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Girahim? Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, sure. Close enough.
Yeah, whatever. He looks like he listens to Korn.
Reese's, yeah.
This is a fun game.
So, Legend of Leo. What are your final thoughts having played Zelda NES?
Final thoughts. Different than what I said before. How I wouldn't have played the game if it wasn't Zelda, but I still enjoyed it. Yeah, I think actually what Alex said is probably the most significant part of this whole playing Zelda, and maybe you guys playing it for the first time, is like now we're part of the cool kid club. Or it's not even about it's not about cred. It's not about having any kind of credit for playing the first Zelda game. It's just, are you a fan of the Zelda series? Good. Now you've experienced Zelda 1. Now you've seen more things. Now you've seen the roots of the game. And it gives you a better appreciation for whatever comes in the subsequent games. So, for anybody out there who's wondering, should they give Zelda 1 a chance? Yes, don't just watch something online. That's not going to give you the right kind of satisfaction. Even if you don't beat the game, try playing it. You're going to see all of the familiar enemies. You're going to find some items that are brand new to you. But hopefully it just kind of makes you feel good when you play it, because it is a very nostalgic, in a way, Zelda experience, even if it is your first time playing.
Play it to the end, guideless.
Yeah, only real
that's
gamers
too much.
play it guideless to the end. No save states.
I would rather do something like Dark Souls, no deaths, than this game guideless.
No saving. You can't even save to the cartridge and the save slot.
Leave your NES on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kill the save battery. Take it out of the cartridge.
Yeah. Remove it from your cartridge. That's how real gamers play. I always remove all the save batteries from my cartridges, and then I eat them.
It's a weird habit. It's just more of a.
I have cancer.
All right. Well,
Battery
later.
cancer.
I should laugh at that.
All right.
Well, bye.
Bye.
Thanks for having me, boys.
That's how we these endings get worse and worse as we go along.
I think they're giving me cancer. All right. Bye.
Hey y'all, don't forget to subscribe to them Button Mappers.